Hello everyone! Hopefully, you're going to enjoy today's episode. It's the one comedy episode for today, because next week, it's going to get real dark. Rules of engagement, a bunch of civilians being murdered, hard time about depression and suicide, shattered mirror where Cisco's dead wife is going to die again. Yeah, it's going to be a whole thing. But this week, we get the Communist Manifesto Ferengi, so that should be fun. Hopefully, everyone's looking forward to the Communist Manifesto Ferengi. This is the part where you all jump in.
Oh yes, fun. Communism, fun.
Yes. Only when coming from a Ferengi, though.
By the way, sorry, space communism. Yay.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to Cisco dressing down Worf.
Yes.
Good.
Today's first episode is going to be Sons of Mogh, Season 4, Episode 14, and there's going to be a little bit of contention between Worf and the Captain. Yeah, yes, you should be able to hear everyone. I mean, I didn't change anything, so theoretically you should be able to, but not changing anything didn't fix it yesterday, so who knows, man.
I think they're saying that everything's good.
Yes, everything's good. I'm watching OBS, it looks okay. Though if there's volume adjustments I need to make, like I noticed when I watched back yesterday a little bit, that I was significantly louder than everyone. I adjusted that now, so it should be okay. But if, you know, if I need to change it later on, you guys can just let me know in the YouTube chat. It'd be ideal. And,
by the way, I don't know if it's the first 10 or 30 seconds of your intro doesn't get played. It takes a fat second to actually start streaming. I assume after you press the start streaming button.
I gave it 5 to 10 seconds, but I guess that's not enough.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah, you were about 10 seconds into talking before YouTube kicked in.
Alright, I guess before we start the stream, we're just gonna have 30 seconds of nothing. 30 seconds of nothing in the stream, and then we'll actually jump in and start doing an intro in the future. It should show up on the VOD if you watch back.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know if that's terribly helpful in the moment, because we don't actually get that many VOD playbacks. It's mostly the live.
20, 30,000 at most.
20 to 30,000? No, I don't think we get quite that many. 20 to 30,000 views. Be ridiculous. How much do I get right now? Let's see. Let's see here. Oh, that's sort of cutting off. Let me fix. There we go.
And
much
he's
better.
gone. Oh, there we go.
I have to hit the Alt key to crop things, which is the same as my push to mute. Alright, how many views do I usually get? 500 here, because they were really good episodes. 450, 500, 500. 300, this one wasn't too popular.
Getting above 100 is a surprise to me.
Yeah.
No offense. I mean, it's just that sitting and watching a VOD of people talking is not something I think people would do all that much.
For hours.
Yeah,
nothing
the appeal for this is live, for me, anyway.
Yeah.
This is only after the fact views, are you sure?
Not exclusively. But it doesn't separate it. Well, let me look at one. Let me see what it says. Analytics.
Also 800, wow.
4 people unsubscribed on this stream. Who were those 4 people? Who was it?
How dare you!
They didn't like your anti-Cardassian racism last episode.
I mean, it could be me, but I am subscribed, so it isn't me.
Okay. This one was, oh, what's it called? The one where the Ferengi go to Roswell, the Sword of Kahless, and Our Man Bashir. That was that stream. So if I look at...
Bashir. I love this episode.
I should alternate unsubscribing and subscribing each stream to mess up your statistics.
No, stop it. So the first 3 hours, which is about how long the stream goes, was 70. And then 228 views since then.
Should I mention I've built 250 accounts and watched it all simultaneously.
Maybe you shouldn't mention that? Not because it does anything to Ryan, it's just Why? You're
I
weird.
mean, look, if you
Thank
don't
you.
have ad block on all those accounts and you're just giving me money, I mean, you do whatever, man. You do you. If you just want to give me ad revenue. Oh yeah, monetization is off on this stream. So because, well, hang on. Everyone get ready to press play. We're about to start. Then we'll go into the thing. Press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. I
That
tried to
third
change.
second was really long.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the cave.
Don't worry about it. It's the cave. I tried to change how the monetization is, so right now I have it turned off at the very start of the stream, and then I turn it on midstream, just so, like, when we're trying to do an intro, we don't get an ad playing. People miss the intro.
Where is the light in this cave coming from?
I mean, it's a hollow cave, so they can... That works. It's a fake cave. Jeez, what is the point of that weapon? It just broke immediately.
Aren't they supposed to be like duranium weapons?
Yeah, how did they do... How strong is Worf? Given that he gets beat up on the regular.
Resistance needed to break it.
No, Dax, look. Literally every sword expert in the world has agreed the Batleth is a terrible weapon.
Did they?
It's not good in a fight.
Well,
For one, it's
big and
gonna-
chunky.
it's- When you're holding it, it's gonna like flip around because you're holding around a pivot point.
Oh, that's right.
Okay, no, she definitely wore it for him, based on that look.
Hurry up and get married already.
Patience.
Yeah, we have to get Grilka in and Worf has to get a crush on her. It's gonna be a whole thing.
So Dax says gotcha, but the captions say something in Klingon. Pretty obvious.
It sounded to me like she said Movek.
No, she says gotcha, and the captions say like etcha in Klingon.
The Sons of Mogh. Title drop, reunited. Though, Kern appears to be a little drunk here.
A little.
A little. He wants you to murder him. Well, at least he seems happy about it. Kurt doesn't seem to mind the murder. He's cool with this.
Doing a like preemptive actually. So part of what I did for the past year is work in the neurology ward at a hospital. And long story short, I totally understand Mokhtar. I totally get it. It makes
just-
perfect sense. I understand why Worf wanted to do it wanted to be killed when his spine was crushed. Psychologically speaking, I get it. Totally get it.
Well,
I mean, but
Kern may have wanted to be killed, but the actor Tony Todd definitely didn't, because he did some interviews afterwards, and he's like, I disagree with them killing me off. There was a lot more of Kern that could have been played out.
I agree. Yeah.
This episode is really disturbing to me because Worf essentially just erases his brother without even asking him.
yeah.
He doesn't ask. Kern
No, he doesn't
knows.
ask. He just does it.
Again, the awesome murder, not murder.
It sure feels like murder.
Chips.
It's what he wants.
Yeah, that's a nice triangle ship, but the triangle shape in the intro doesn't count just because it's always there. We need unique
Oh.
triangles. Unique triangles.
We need isosceles.
Sometimes they're too unique and it's hard to tell that they're triangles, but we get there in the end.
It took us about 10 to 15 minutes, but we figured it out.
We figured it out. All right, he is Alexander Siddiq in the credits here. He's no longer Siddiq El Tahil El Fadil Abdurrahman Mohammed Abdul Karim El Makti. Apparently, Alexander is a lot easier to say for people in this field.
All of the shots that were in the shots of the station were shot with a physical model.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good model.
Yeah, I'll accept that very last scene where they do the full zoom out from like Jake's quarters out to the
Guard? Why is he calling for a guard? Was he ever in a holding cell?
When he was drunk?
I think he just expected to be thrown into the drunk tank.
I believe the last time we saw Tony Todd was as old Jake. I don't think we've seen Kern in a while.
Yep.
He's not they're not even Federation quarters, Kern. What are you talking about?
And why is he talking about all these quarters? Has he been on the station before?
He just assumes they're all the same. Stereotyping. Typical. And Worf really can't make up his mind. He supported Gowron, then he opposed Gowron, then he supported Gowron, then he opposed Gowron. Make up your mind, Worf. Who are you loyal to?
You know what? I think being passive aggressive about dealing with your fallen house is pretty. Klingon sarcasm.
Yeah. For those of you who don't remember, Kern used to be on the High Council, and then Worf, did a Federation thing, and they no longer had any lands. Kern was ejected. He has nothing anymore. He's just a homeless vagrant now. Oh, we're getting that exposition now. Well, that's nice. Yeah, Kern doesn't have any friends anymore.
Someone from the House of Mogh. Who else is there? Is there someone else we don't know about?
I don't think so.
Does
You
Worf
gotta
also
just
has a
go for
bunch of
Worf.
secret siblings he doesn't talk about? It could be past Alexander, that's true. Alexander, son of Worf, son of Mogh.
Klingon government kind of sucks. Like,
The whole
Just
Empire kind of
because-
sucks.
yeah, that's true too. And Ezri thoroughly
I think it deserves to
dismembers
die.
the Empire in her one episode.
Yeah.
I enjoy that conversation a lot because she's totally right.
I
yeah,
think the
me
Klingon
too.
Empire is dying, and I think it deserves to die. Thanks, Ezri.
What is really depressing about this? Because the Klingons, the most aggressive race in whole of Star Trek, and they don't have people storming into the capital.
Well, I mean, we did have an
Well, they-
entire civil war that one time.
Yeah, and they do. I mean, that's how Kalis got his thing. Kalis stormed the capital and slew Morlor, I think is the legend. But
But I mean, that was that. The House of Duras is the one with the civil war, and the House of Duras is just awful. It's always him. Typical Duras. Okay.
Kira passed the fuck out.
It's a long patrol, man. Okay, so what horrific event is about to happen? Why do they need to be off the station right now?
Explosion.
This is when they discover that the Klingons are mining outside of Bajoran space.
Yes.
Okay. Well, Kira, you just feel very comfortable with Miles. Too comfortable later on.
Oh.
It's so romantic.
It's probably the most romantic spot on Bajor.
Mhm.
There's a view. Really? Really? That's a Klingon mining thing and it just exploded again?
Not mining, extracting minerals, mining as in placing mines.
Oh. Oh.
I always wanted to live on Deep Space Nine or Bajor.
You want to live on a Cardassian mining station? Or processing station?
Oh my god, I would not get within 500 meters of a high energy discharge like that. 500 meters is nothing in space talk.
Star Trek doesn't really understand distances in space. So
Nope,
if they say 500 meters, just
absolutely
assume they mean like 500 kilometers. Just multiply everything by 1,000.
But sometimes they do say kilometers.
So just assume they're kilokilometers.
I'm sorry.
What's the problem?
Makes perfect sense. It checks out.
Yeah, they're not technically in Bajoran space, but this feels like something they're not allowed to do. They're definitely not in Klingon space.
I think it's just a play with words.
Yes.
I feel like it's probably technically according to agreements, but everyone really doesn't like it.
Hang on. When people were talking about the Discovery, they said the Klingons wouldn't use mines. Are you telling me that Klingons actually would use dishonorable tactics in order to gain victory?
In my Star Trek?
In my Star Trek?
Like Klingon assassins on the station.
I mean, at one point, Worf points out that there is no greater honor than victory, which
Yeah.
essentially is him saying the ends justify the means, even if the means are dishonorable.
So for people in the YouTube chat, quick question. How is the audio balance? Me compared to everyone else? I think I've got everyone on Discord balanced with each other because I can actually hear that, but I can't hear myself in relation to them. Hang on, is that the same thing Keiko had in her quarters? The teapot?
No.
It looks so similar.
It looks like a mini nuclear bomb.
Do we need
Kinda.
a teapot counter now?
No, we're not having a we don't need a counter for literally everything.
Oh, it's Klingon potpourri.
Yes. I'm a teensy bit louder. I can just adjust my thing a teensy bit down. Teensy bit down.
Is there a button for that?
Oh, there's a pack lid. No, I have a gain knob. I have a knob for that.
No teensy button.
No teensy button. I mean, there is a little teensy button. It can turn me off and on. So I can just, like, press that button off and on again and things will happen. I also have a button on here that says air, and I don't know what it means, but I just pressed it so you guys can tell me if anything changed. Also, hey, Morn. I don't know what air means in this context.
Maybe like on air, like recording, or
Let me look it up. Scarlet Solo Air button. What does that do? And of course they're going to burst in right before he does it. And they're going to stop him.
nope.
Nope. Dude just got stabbed.
I appreciate them adding on the extra prosthetics there.
Yeah, it's a very detailed chest.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hey, Worf had the knife in his hand.
air modifies the frequency response of the input stage to model the classic transformer-based microphone preamps. What does that
English,
mean?
please.
What? Hang on. This is me talking without air, and this is
What
me
am I-
talking with air. Does that sound any different whatsoever? Air on, air off. On, off.
It doesn't sound any different, and this is one of my favorite scenes in all of DS9.
Yes. Regulations? Cisco is, of course, the best captain at yelling at people.
Cisco is, of course.
Oh, that was me. Perfect. Thank you, Ben. Try to
I
commit premeditated
remember
murder.
that you did some compilation of Cisco shouting at everyone, or it was somebody else. It
Yeah,
was
someone
like
else
6 minutes long.
Yeah, someone else made
And-
that, and it's amazing.
Yes, but I am really surprised in just 6 minutes.
And of course, I remember one of the top comments on that video I remember was something like, ironically, he's also the best at whispering. And he is.
Yeah, it is.
Avery Brooks is
Kinda.
really good at extremes.
He's just really good in general. I like his performance all the time.
Yeah, that's why I appreciate
Triangle ship.
No
Triangle.
Avery Brooks. It seems like Avery Brooks has more range than Patrick Stewart, but Patrick Stewart is better with subtlety.
Avery Brooks is definitely an overactor, but he's very compelling.
Some people are very good at overacting.
Yes. Avery Brooks, as the kids say, has no chill. Well, as Captain Cisco, as Avery Brooks, he has way too much chill.
So he gets all worked up about someone dying, but death of personality, totally cool. A-okay, do it every day. Death of personality to everybody.
So, you guys
Did we get
remember
his-
when an early TNG episode where the Klingons say, the body's just a shell, it's the soul that matters. This feels like murdering the soul to save the body.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely.
And do like the
Yeah.
Bajorans have no provision for, say, assisted suicide or something?
That may not be high on their priorities at the moment, considering they're kind of trying to rebuild their government in general.
The Bajorans and the Federation don't believe in euthanasia. That goes against their idea of paradise. No one in paradise would want to commit suicide.
Are they actually against euthanasia?
Apparently. Apparently, yes.
I think generally speaking, yeah, that's the rule.
Oh,
I don't know, it doesn't
I mean-
really come up that much.
I'm trying to think. I don't know of an episode where somebody is definitely terminally ill and they just want to die quickly, so they actually help them. I don't.
The only thing I can think of is the episode Half a Life from TNG, where that guy who's not sick, he's just like, he hit 60 and that's the death age for them. And they want
Yeah,
to.
but they're not Federation members.
They're not
Let's
Federation.
not forget
members.
Tuvix.
Voyager. Voyager has
Tuvix.
Tuvix. Q was committed suicide.
Tuvix
Well, that's
isn't
just
assisted
Janeway.
suicide. That's just murder.
No, Death Wish with the Q.
Death Wish,
Quinn.
that's right.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they asked him not to kill himself, but he wasn't terminal either. Like, he was just like, I no longer
He
want
was
to
just
do
sad.
you, so I can die.
Again, though, Janeway is not exactly the image of Federation policy.
And Janeway also didn't help him with suicide. I think she was just
Yeah.
playing a judge, kind of in that episode.
The closest
She
thing
clearly
we get,
didn't
I
want him
think,
to
is
commit suicide, but
the closest thing we get is a moment in ethics when Riker and Picard are talking to each other about how Worf wants to die because he can no longer walk, and Picard uses an argument of somebody being terminally ill and wanting to die as a argument in favor of letting Worf go through with it. And of course,
Okay.
Riker is like, Worf's not terminally ill, but Picard definitely brings it up as a point of like, would you want to suffer or would you want to die? And like, to me, that that's the only thing that I can think of where they even talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can talk about the Picard finale. That's fine. It's been long enough. All of Star Trek is now open. So if there's anything you don't want spoiled, this is the wrong stream to watch.
Well, Picard is the only thing I didn't watch and don't care if someone spoils it to me or not.
Okay. Yeah, Data chooses to die. Picard doesn't choose to die exactly, but he chooses to be mortal, which is similar. He chooses to die eventually.
Or he chooses to die indirectly.
I've seen like, not to bring the place down, depressing, but I've seen so many people like have strokes or brain cancer or something like that, and they lose completely like what they are, that sort of thing. So the like ending suffering and prolonging life, or prolonging bodily life while losing your spirit argument. Like I get it.
It's like the ship of Theseus, but for mental degradation.
That's a perfect analogy.
I don't know what that is. What is that?
The ship of Theseus, where, like, if you replace a board in a ship one at a time, at what point is it no longer the same ship?
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like they could have just built Data another body, since clearly they could have just put him into it, but I don't... Hey man, Data wanted to die, so we killed him.
What happened to B4? Wasn't that the whole point?
Before, they explained that basically it just didn't work. In short.
After Ryan posted the Kid Picard deepfake this week, I thought this would be kind of a lighthearted Discord chat stream watch here, but you guys are talking like assisted suicide and...
I mean, it's an episode
really
about assisted suicide.
Right, yeah.
The next episode will be much lighter with the communist Ferengi. And then every episode after that for like 3 weeks is going to be super dark too.
So what would collecting on debts even look like between Odo and Worf?
What? Could you say that again? What was that?
What would collecting debts even look like?
Collecting debts. Apparently it's going to look like threatening people. Kern is his enforcer.
Yeah, very mafia.
So yeah, 25 we have body parts, so we have Ferengi. Now to the death we do have Wayun, so that's a big positive.
We also get, well, Cisco's dead wife dying again. I think that's today. We're going to get Hard Time next week, and there's going to be The Quickening, maybe next week or the week after. If you want lighthearted, maybe watch TNG streams are good for that.
Cisco's wife dying is next week.
Is it next week? I thought it was this week.
Yep, Shattered Mirror next week.
Okay. I should really know what I'm doing on my own stream, but, you know, it's fine.
Next week, the Rules of Engagement are the only sensible episode that I know of in those three.
Well, I'm just happy because we have another Mirror Universe episode. I've always been a fan of it.
I mean, you could go to Odo, maybe like get a nice lining in the uniform, make it more comfortable for you. He'd do it. Go see your tailor.
You mean Garrick?
Who did I say?
If he saw Garrick, he would murder
Garrick,
him.
yes. Or, presumably the replicator could just take his measurements and make him a perfect uniform to what he wants.
Like
Let's
in
go make-
Discovery.
Let's go make, like in Discovery, just make another uniform.
God, Klingons are clumsy with the mines.
Jeez, they're awful at this. For what? What do you mean shields and phasers? Like half the ship is missing, Kira. What do you think they're gonna do? Maybe she's just worried about them exploding on top of them.
Yeah, like debris risk, I guess.
Are you sure you don't require assistance? It looks like you require assistance.
It looks like a bomb, like big bomb, went out. Imagine that this big hole in the Defiant would be if someone had been clumsy with torpedoes.
And if you detonate a torpedo from inside the ship's just gone. No more Defiant. Oh, that's nice. I wasn't expecting them to accept that. I was actually expecting them to just explode and kill themselves.
I mean, they're still enemies, right? Like Klingons in the Federation, technically, right now.
Cold Warriors, Cisco describes them next week. Did he kill the Boslik? Let himself get shot. Yeah, that's not saying much, Odo. Trained Klingon warriors are awful warriors. They always lose fights. God, Kern has suffered a fate worse than death. He was fired. Poor Kern. Okay, so he got shot in the shoulder. It'd certainly be very uncomfortable. That's true, there are a lot of barrels in the cargo hold, and barrels are a Klingon's natural enemy. Very hostile work environment.
All the barrels are controlled by Big Tribble.
I wonder if Worf has like a PTSD of any barrel that's like higher than.
Did you say Big Tribble?
Yeah, I mean, tribbles, barrels, the whole thing. It's a conspiracy.
That's why the barrels, when they fall on something, they always sound hollow. Because the triples are so soft and fluffy, they don't make a clang sound.
See? Now you're getting it.
It all adds up. Okay, I can make a video about this. Give it like 5-10 minutes of video.
Barrel off.
Hey guys.
Gentlemen.
And sidebar.
Well,
Well, to be honest,
it sounds like COVID's starting to hit you there.
yeah, a little mucus. Sorry, one second.
And it's not an issue for the stream. It's just an issue for how you doing, man.
Hey, Salvador, welcome back. No, I'm actually doing better. But, I'm feeling bad for Kern, actually. I agree with that.
Also. Oh, let's see. Yes, I can confirm that old man Mammoth is not dead.
I was wondering.
He's not dead. He's just not here. Don't worry.
He's ready to live another 200 years.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. When you ask him how old are you, he says, "I remember Herbert Hoover."
The Spanish-American War, all good. Why are you sitting on the windowsill? Are you out of chairs? What room are they even in? Is this not the wardroom? And Worf already turned against his own people. Why not, Kern?
And we all know Mogh did, so it's a family tradition.
Yes, that's exactly how we rationalize it. I think that room is the same room, the same couches, as when they like bring in Garrick to hear the plan about the Klingon invasion. It's like, I need a new suit. They're all lounging on the couches there too. And even the Enterprise didn't have just
yeah,
couches.
that's true. They never sit like that again.
Kern, you think the Federation is soft and weak. The first thing you did was, like, complain about the bed.
Complain about the bed, complain about his uniform.
I mean, that's his motto throughout this whole episode. Will my dishonor never end?
And the answer is no, it will never end.
It's like, my life sucks. My life still sucks. Oh, it sucks even more today.
Now, if Sisko would just let Worf stab him in one of his hearts, we could solve this.
It looks like a Mortal Kombat weapon in the background.
I have a saying. Why do it the easy way when you can do it the hard way?
Right. Star Trek writers are definitely into that because they have to feel like they have to have like there's like a block, like each commercial break has to be a different. Because see, when I watched Deep Space Nine sitting down all at once at one point, like many years ago, you start. It's like Law and Order too. You start picking up the formula. One really good thing I'd say about Discovery is that because they can vary their time, it can be a 38-minute episode or an hour and 15-minute long episode. They're able to do better storytelling.
They can tell stories at their own pace. Also, like The Mandalorian. Some episodes are over an hour, some are like 30 minutes. Story takes as long as it takes.
Totally.
Yeah, it's cool actually.
Hey, I came in late. Did anyone mention that Kern is played by Tony Todd from Candyman?
Oh, yeah. We always point out Tony Todd. Or I do, at least, because I love Tony Todd.
He's also adult Jake Sisko in the Visitor episode, I believe.
Yep.
That's awesome.
He does a really great job here because he's always needling Worf, and he does it in a very...
Oh, Photonic, you're kind of... We're getting some echo through you. If you could... Ideally, if you have headphones. Put those on.
Honestly, though, this episode broke my heart at the end. I'm like, you have to deny your own brother. I was kind of destroyed.
Yeah. We're going to get a lot of dark episodes in season 4.
I'm sorry.
Strap in.
Sorry, Straphead?
No, strap in for some dark.
Strap in. Oh, okay, right. No, I mean, thank you. Oh, yeah, brace yourself. As Batman would say when I was a kid. Because in Mad Men, they have this really thing at the beginning where, like, he pretends he comes back from Korea in, like, a different man's body, and, like, his brother recognizes it. So, anyway, somebody adopts an alter ego, and when his biological brother recognizes him, he pays his biological brother to go away. It's like a really dirty kind of thing.
Good job, Kern. Now you're a murderer. No, he wasn't. Yeah, Worf's gone a bit soft in the Federation. He's not used to people just trying to assassinate him.
Yeah.
question. I need answers. Sensors or sensors?
Clearly, it's sensors.
No.
Depends on your accent, I suppose.
It's sensors, but when a Vulcan wants to be emphatic, it could be sensors.
Yeah.
They say sensors all the time in TNG.
Picard, I think, says it sometimes,
Yeah.
but only occasionally.
I forget what episode I was watching recently where somebody said sensors and Worf said sensors and then Riker said sensors. Everybody said sensors. Also, that was a joke in
Lower Decks.
Oh, Lower Decks.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you mean? Nobody says sensors. What are you talking about?
And then the captain's caught faking it for the admiral, and the daughter gets her in trouble.
Now, if you say sensors, you're wrong, but it's fine. The issue is, do you say that sensors is the strictly correct way to pronounce it? And because there are a lot of ORS words that are pronounced ers, not ors. Nothing else is pronounced ors.
I mean, to be honest, it's really like the or the. Like, you really can't harp on anyone. Or, I mean, and like I said, actually, to be realistic, it's used for emphasis. So I'm telling you, this is the legislation that we're talking about. Everything else would be, I went to the store, I went to the movie theater.
Well, not everything. There are actually rules about how you use the versus the. The usually comes before a word that begins with a vowel.
Or like the end.
No.
At the end. That's where I first learned the word.
Definitely.
Yeah.
The versus the.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Thank you.
Oh. I thought Worf was going to put his thing down and go assassinate someone. You know, like he usually does.
I thought it was a resignation. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, if you take off your comm badge, you're allowed to just do anything. If Worf just took off his comm badge before he stabbed Kern, it would have been fine.
We just become invisible.
Computer can't track you.
Unless the script says they can. And then the sensors are radically improved.
Right, unless they're looking for life science, which normally they're not. They're just looking for...
They're not looking... Signals. They can't tell where a Klingon is on the station, but it is constantly scanning your brain patterns, but it doesn't know where anyone is or when they left the ship.
That's true. It's like the Internet of Things that doesn't know if anyone's using any of the things or not.
Well, people forget when they do a life form scan, they have to do the song, too, or else it doesn't count.
Oh, yes, of course. The song? Everybody knows the song.
Life forms. Boom, boom, boom.
Tiny little life forms.
You precious
little life forms.
Love how Mitchell is sitting.
Is this lighthearted enough now? Is that good enough?
Yeah, this beats,
yes.
This beats the turn stuff. Yeah,
it's moderately lighthearted, but we're not there yet. It's going to get dark.
I think the sensor versus sensor argument kind of broke the dam there. Yeah.
Yeah. Kira does good job being captain here. All right.
Just how many are there?
Worf says here that all these mines are commanded by a subspace code, so that's why you're just like programming them this way.
Did you do a lot of quail flushing there, O'Brien?
Are you hunting animals? Are you murdering animals? I thought we didn't do that anymore. Miles.
No. They said they don't enslave. They don't enslave animals.
But
they didn't say they didn't kill them.
You can hunt the shit out.
I mean, the strong implication of that was that they don't eat real meat anymore, ever.
So is this the first time we see actual attempted suicide?
Right.
Because I know we're going to see it again in Hard Time, but is this the first?
Just clay targets. We have that now. You know, it shoots up like a clay plate, and the machine shoots up clay plates, and you shoot them for target practice up in the air instead of a duck or a quail.
Yeah. God, why is everything about the Klingon afterlife so edgy?
Only bad part is you can't have
There
your
has
dog
to be.
fetch plate once you shoot it out of the sky.
You won't travel down the river of blood across the valley of screams. You won't descend the stairs of pain. It's like, what? Just go. You don't have to be so dramatic about it.
Well, I mean, it's Klingons. They're not gonna like toboggan down the snowfields into the prairie of roses or whatever.
So suicide is dishonorable, but begging your brother to stab you in the heart to do a murder suicide is not dishonorable.
I mean,
Don't
it's
worry
like
about
all
it.
religions.
It's a check.
Technicalities are important, not actual.
Right. We
It's
get
also
by.
it's also a
That's how we
check,
get by.
right? Because if you have
Yeah.
a family member that's like, shut the fuck up and go back to work, then you just don't die. It's fine.
True. You can't make that decision unilaterally. It's gonna be like, yeah, we got enough, and if you're so dishonorable, it'll make you happy. Let's go.
You need permission to commit suicide. You need to get your dad to sign your permission slip, or it doesn't count.
And then you have permission to commit murder. It kind of reminds me. It was very interesting in India, in Hinduism. There was a rule that if a woman's husband died, they would, they cremate the bodies, but they would like put her on the fire too.
Yep. Nope.
Because-
Don't do that. That's just murder.
So there's a joke during the British colonial days, so a Hindu man says to the British officer, well, in my country, when a woman dies, we put her on the husband's funeral fire. And the British officer says, that's fine. In my country, when a man does that, we hang him. So, I don't know. So it's kind of, but either way, though, it's like this ritual is kind of similar, the killing thing. It's like, we don't have too much right to go up, but
Another reason I don't think that this was against his concern, aside from like he wants to die type of thing, I don't think Bashir would do this to someone without their consent.
Yeah, that was something that I was going to bring up as soon as there was an opening. Like Bashir never hears Kern say, "I want you to do this." That is extremely problematic.
No, I'm saying like Bashir wouldn't do it if Kern did not tell him. I mean, it's not shown, but
Right, that's what I mean. We never see Kern say, "Please do this to me," and Bashir still does it.
I thought it was
Kern doesn't ask
strongly
for this.
like Kern passed out being drunk, and then we cut to this scene. Like,
Right.
Yeah, I mean, the impression is that Worf
it's
just
weird.
sort of said, "He's drunk and asleep, so now I'm going to do this to him." It's
Yeah,
like
I
the
guess-
definition of a lack of consent.
yeah, I guess it shows that. But
No, but at the end of the day, though, he will be happier. But having said that, the end, I mean, that would only be saying the ends justify the means. I guess they don't, but that's the moral of this episode. Because he is truly happy, right? Once he'll be an honorable Klingon and a part of an honorable family and like
Who
a small but
knows?
honorable house.
It's unclear.
he's-
We never see him again.
Sorry, excuse me.
And I remember Dr. Phlox in Enterprise. He has a whole episode about not treating someone who didn't want his treatment. He has a whole episode about patient consent. Dr. Bashir, nah, it's fine. Wipe his memory. Don't worry about it.
There's also an entire episode
But-
where they essentially commit genocide via Prime Directive.
Yeah, Dear Doctor was kind of messed up. That's
But-
probably my least favorite episode of Enterprise just because of the ending.
Another hugely problematic thing over here. How is this technology even possible? Because if you remove somebody's like personality, but they still have their language and culture, that makes no sense. Because when you were a child, you learned your language and your culture. So
Yeah,
I can't
yeah.
make you forget your childhood without you forgetting your language and your culture. Anyway,
I mean,
sci-fi.
So
If
someone
we-
made a good point in the
if we
YouTube
ask
chat. Is that actually Bashir or is it Shapeshifter Bashir? Because that makes a difference to medical
no,
ethics.
it's actually Bashir because Shapeshifter Bashir is in the new uniforms.
So this is not Gooey Bashir.
all I know is I'm a
Correct.
generic Klingon.
Graphical
What?
user interface, Bashir.
What the hell did you call Bashir gooey?
Gooey Bashir.
Gooey Bashir. He's
Yeah,
I
like
because
he's
he
like
was
regular
a changeling.
Bashir, but he's gooey. What's the problem? Oh, hey, Morn.
Great.
Sounds like Gummy Bear.
So then we had a Morn counter.
We can't have a Morn counter. He's in every episode.
So
Yeah, he
Gooey,
even when he's dead, he's in an episode.
Gooey Bashir is the name of a new flavor of gummy bears coming out. It is genetically engineered gummy bears.
It's also the new name for the next Android update.
Of course. All right, so the next episode is Bar Association with Communist Ferengi. We're going to be quoting that good old manifesto.
Our Frankie.
Right, I have
Ow.
to leave.
All right.
I
Good
hope
day.
you have a nice time and see you in 2 weeks.
We'll still be
Nice to
here.
see
See
you
you
again.
later.
Jules.
Take care.
Ryan, what's going on?
Oh, you know what? Speaking of which, I will be missing next weekend also. So I will see you in 2 weeks also.
Okay.
I make
Okay.
no guarantees. Bye.
Everyone is leaving me. What am I paying you
No.
people for?
It's Valentine's.
Second.
Wait, you get
The
paid?
jokes. The jokes.
It's Valentine's Day weekend. Come
Is
Do
it?
you guys know each other
Oh, it
outside
is.
of this, or just
Oh.
you
No.
know?
No, I have
Oh.
nope.
The
I mean,
chat,
there.
the YouTube
Some
chat.
people have claimed that they actually have known me for a long time, but if someone says that, that's just not true. I don't know what's up with that.
But say, at a
All right,
minimum, I
hang
live.
on. Everyone, press
6,000
play on Bar
miles away.
Association in 5, 4,
Oh, shit.
3, 2, 1, play. Also, I should update the title.
I don't know. I've known Ryan for like 20, 30 years. What do you mean?
I'm not even 30 years old, man. How does that work?
Don't worry about it. These are
Yeah.
Talking.
I don't know any other people. I don't know any other humans. I just show up here.
I know that, Ryan. When you said, "Oh, Mr. Fiddle, I have other things to do," I said the only other thing you have to do is make intakes and do this.
Oh, of course.
Ryan's my favorite kind of YouTuber, where he clearly doesn't give a shit whether you like his page or not. Like, I'm gonna do this. Maybe you like it, but that's fine.
But he gets
I just-
very upset if you watch anyone else's YouTube.
Yeah, don't you dare watch anyone else's YouTube. Star Trek YouTube. You can watch other people's like gaming channels or documentaries or whatever. You can watch those stupid bloody
Laura
life
is a
hacks
fan of
channels
the
if you
show.
want.
Laura's
Don't you
a
dare
fan of
watch
the
another
show.
Star Trek channel. Go ahead.
I went on Laura's live stream and I said, "Hey, thanks for coming on, Ryan. It's edit," and he said, "You have a great channel." I paid you compliments.
Thanks, Kevin. Was it Kevin? Yes, Kevin. Thanks, Kevin.
And I'm sort of pretty new here. I heard about this channel for a little while now, so I just thought I'd come on here and check it out. I checked out your YouTube channel, Ryan, and it is pretty good. I like it. I'm a big Star Trek fan. I'm like pretty much anything. Well, I like the old series. Really.
It's cool.
All right.
Welcome.
Thanks. Some of my best to pop on is.
I love these outfits during this episode.
Everyone is a
Because
descendant. It's been
they're
200
so furry.
years.
Oh, there was also a line there that I wanted to point out where they say it's like the Battle of Britain only with swords, and that was one of the now I have to point out similes because I made a video about it, like some kind of. That was one of the similes they used. It's like the Battle of Britain only with swords.
So the Battle of Britain was fought with the Nazis over the skies of London, right?
Yeah.
And so they're saying it's like an air battle with swords.
What do you mean?
Well, see,
junk ball
now,
has
now
your
I'm
heart?
just picturing them swinging swords at each other from aircraft.
What do you mean junk ball has your Trek heart? What do you mean? Let me look at junk ball's channel. What do they have? Their last video was 3 months ago. What are you watching them for? You Enterprise E retrospective? Maybe I should make some Shiv videos.
This is the original
Oh Jesus!
Star Trek live stream, folks, guys.
No, why would you do this?
What's funny is that his ears are not like actually open in any way, so like all of that stuff in that tube just pours down his shirt.
Yeah.
And also, I think he asks Lita for Umax over here, and it's like that would definitely
Almost
not
said
be
something
allowed
else
on
there.
TV. Yeah, I did. So but that would not be allowed on TV or HR protocol today. Like you can't stick your ear out and ask somebody to rub any part of your erogenous zones.
Oh yeah, speaking of Steve Shives has also started doing his own watch along. It's a different format. It's a different thing.
Mine was first.
Yes, I was first slightly. I don't know like if he saw my So I did a test stream of one episode at the very start and then we started properly. I don't know if like he saw that and then he decided to do his own. But his first stream was between the test and the first proper one.
I mean, Trek Yards is also doing it, but the thing is, though, you're doing every episode of every season of that show. So I don't think anyone else is doing that. You're the only game in town.
Yeah, Steve Shives is doing every DS9 episode, but he's doing them, I think, one a week, and two-parters are split up, so it's going to take forever.
Yeah, his format's going to take a really long time. Plus, he's also doing like Firefly in between.
Yeah.
But I've been listening to a weekly Star Trek podcast for now, 6-7 years or so.
Which podcast?
Mission Log, because they started at original series and have been going through everything, and they're in season 5 right now of Deep Space Nine.
Okay,
but
we're
yeah,
catching
if you go
up.
week to week, it takes forever.
We're almost caught up to them.
I used to listen to This Week in Trek, but I kind of fell off that one.
I used to watch other Star Trek channels, but I kind of stopped when I started my own because I guess I feel like I have enough Star Trek in my life at this point.
Fair enough.
But to say, I have
need more
this.
threshold.
I have Mission Log, and then I have another one that covers just Voyager.
Yeah, I listen to one for Voyager occasionally called The People versus Star Trek Voyager.
Oh yeah, I love that. I love them.
What do you mean versus Star Trek Voyager?
Are there?
The whole premise is that essentially there's 3 people on the podcast. One guy's never seen Voyager. One guy is supposed to be like the defender. The other guy is supposed to be the prosecutor. So like one person's clearly in favor of the episode, one person's clearly against it. Although it doesn't work out that way. Like when they actually talk about it, they're like, "Yeah, this episode sucked," or "It's really good," or whatever. You know, like it's just.
I like the premise.
It's not really like how they execute it completely. And there's a bit at the beginning and end of every episode that mimics like the People's Court.
Except I think the last episode they did, they just went from the court concept into the episode, and they just immediately said, "This sucks. This is just terrible."
I am not caught up on that one. I'm still back in like season 2 or 3. I don't.
They just did. It was the one where Tom Paris gets demoted.
Oh yeah.
And then the following week, Janeway she breaks the Prime Directive, but it's fine.
So apparently in the future with free medicine, people still just don't go to the doctor. Even when the doctor is right next door, it costs nothing. And you have future space medicine.
Well, the problem with Rom is that he can't get time off to go see Bashir. So even if Bashir is free, it's still like he doesn't get paid, which I don't know why. Well, I guess you need profits, but like I don't know if Rom pays rent on the station or anything.
Okay, but does he have 0 time off?
I would think he could at least like ask Bashir, like, "Hey, I don't really get any time off during the weekday. Could you make an exception for me after hours? I got this issue." Bashir's a pretty cool guy.
I mean, the infirmary should be open all hours.
It should be.
Is this your first time on here, Hannah?
Yeah, I've just been doing other stuff, but I'm writing a paper on bar association right now, so I was like, I have to come chat about it.
Okay. So yeah, the Ferengi space communism, but of course the Federation is itself space communist. They just don't quote the Communist Manifesto. Luxury space communism.
You said you're writing a paper? So
Yeah, I'm in a anthropology class about work, and we have to do a video analysis. And I was like,
I've seen
oh,
you.
perfect.
I've seen you in the YouTube chat also. So you're pretty active. Long time viewer.
Yep.
I think. Just a very interesting kind of thing I noticed, just from an academic point of view. So at one point they say that like all Ferengi wage contracts are the same, and therefore their like salaries are all the same or something. And so the thing is, what that does is, and that's used in real life, and this was not probably what the writers had in mind. But all those factory workers in China, like Foxconn, the factories where iPhones, Samsungs are made, those employees have a maximum wage and they live in like the factory housing, so they can't really leave. So like that's why you work 16 hours a day, is because you like live at the factory, and you can't negotiate for a higher thing because there's only one maximum salary for like people from the rural areas who now work in this factories in the cities. At the same time, it's kind of liberating. But that was interesting. So there's a real life parallel to this episode and communist China or manufacturing China with maximum wages.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Well, like one of the lines in the episode that I like write about is like the Ferengi workers don't want to stop the exploitation; they want to become the exploiters.
Yeah,
and that's kind of
brilliant.
like the capitalist like American view of
it is.
There's that very famous line: "America has no poor people, just temporarily embarrassed millionaires."
Billionaires.
Well,
billionaires.
Excuse me.
Right. So somebody put a BBC historian this way: America is the French Revolution in reverse, where the mobs come pouring down the streets, screaming, "More power to the aristocracy."
Well, that's not very charitable of you. What's your name? Quark. That's your name. Such a jerk to your own brother.
This is the worst episode though, for Ferengis though, because it's like no sick days. Like he's giving his brother work until he falls over, and crashes, and then he says, "I'm docking your pay." Like, I mean, you can clearly see why. I mean, you got to be proud of Rom in this episode.
It looks bad, but it's like, as you pointed out, this is America. Companies will abandon you over something like you getting sick.
True.
They'll just be like, "Yeah, you're sick, and we no longer use you, so you're fired." It happens way more often than you think, and like because of things like at-will employment, they can just say, "Well, we fired you for this reason, not because you were sick." So like, you're screwed.
Yeah, you're right, and you're right. It's like the waiter or waitress falling over because they're too feverish and sick. I'm sure it happens more often than we think.
I just want to point out this nice little bit of continuity: the tooth sharpener he got from Nogg's going away party.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, I did notice that.
It's awesome. Yeah, when he what is it, Little Green Man?
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if this is intended to be continuity or not, but that's the alien who was also doing petty theft in Quarks before when he stole Luoxana Troy's pin.
Oh, interesting.
It's that same little petty thief. He just lives on the promenade.
Repeat offender.
There's one on every station.
He just has that ready to call up in case Worf tries to talk smack about him.
He's been waiting.
He did 3 clicks. So it was like security, enterprise, infractions.
Worf is not happy about this.
I think
Tasha they're not the exceptions. They are the rule.
It happens every week.
Hey, we're the flagship. A lot of weird shit happened, okay?
Yeah.
Also,
all kinds of anomalies, like people were turning into cavemen. Come on, man.
That one you mentioned about Damon Lurin is the Rascals episode too.
Q was on the bridge with a mariachi band. Like, all bets were off on the Enterprise. Come on.
Oh, we got the mob. I never remember which is which. Would they be the proletariat? Or are they the other one?
Yes.
Okay.
They're not the bourgeoisie.
Right, bourgeoisie. That's the other one.
Right. Quark's bourgeoisie. But you know what? Actually, quirk's a really good example for bourgeoisie, because bourgeoisie actually just kind of means like middle class. It's not even like the rulers and the plutocrats. You know, like a bit.
He doesn't
like
need to have a lot of power, just power over these people.
Yes, thank you. And especially in the Russian context, it was like you had serfs or kulaks, like, and it's interesting because I was just learning. This guy wrote an amazing 3-volume biography of Stalin.
Wait. Oh my god. All right, continue.
Forbidden word. That was a bad word. Look at all the Ferengi. They're all like shocked. They're like, we're all gonna die.
Wait, it's a union. How dare you? This truly is America. How dare you say the word union?
And we get a lot of these Ferengi's names, which we never got before. We have Bronk, and we have Puke or something.
They're like the Knights of Ni, except they're the knight. They can't. There's that one weird word they cannot hear.
Counts as Jeffrey Combs, like he's around.
Jeffrey Combs, yeah, but I mean, they're rarely named and never speaking almost. I love at the end when they have the holographic quirks dropping the glasses. It's a cute joke.
Just the one FCA liquidator, actually. Brunt. FCA.
But he shows up with 2 Nausicaans, and they play this crazy game in the back when Quark and Brunt are talking for the first time, where they just throw knives directly into each other's chests. I was laughing my butt off because, you know, obviously Picard got stabbed in the chest through the heart by a Nausicaan. So they're just like into knives through chests.
A paid vacation? Quark's not going to pay you to not work. What kind of lazy fool are you? If you want to pay, you got to work.
And the logic was too good. If you had any money on Ferenginar, you wouldn't be.
So I don't think he can
by LeVar Burton.
Okay. I don't think he can quote the manifesto yet. I think he has to talk to O'Brien first.
One really good bit of direction is when Brunt shows up and they have the guy who's crouching in the corner. Everybody else leaves the room and he's still on the floor. So go LeVar.
Oh boy, a sebaceous cyst. I love sebaceous cysts.
This is 2 episodes in a row where Dr. Bashir is causing problems.
He's just joking with his friend. He's fine.
I'm saying he caused this. He gave Nog the Rom the Union idea. Then he's brainwashed Kern, or brain wiped Kern.
Unions. Oh, now we get the communist bit. Now it's gonna come in. Oh, what's his ancestor's name?
That's the A. Albert.
I mean, what's Quark gonna do about it if they strike? He's not gonna get any other Ferengi employees over here in the middle of nowhere on his worthless bar. Wait, what? Sean Aloysius? Aloysius?
Aloysius.
From
Aloysius.
everywhere else, it's an open port.
So, okay, let me.
Yeah, Quark, be reasonable. With O'Brien here, no, you're gonna need to strike. And what? Even if suppose they strike, and it lasts a long time. They don't have to spend any money on the station. They can just use the Replimat to get anything they need. They probably, I doubt they pay rent.
It says in this episode they don't pay rent.
You get a part-time job too. I mean, yeah.
There's a union man.
There's no rent and there's no taxes. And that's what Cisco uses later to blackmail Quark into solving the strike, because he says, otherwise I'm going to start charging you 5 years rent and 5 years back taxes. Which is a really... what is that word? Not I know we do spoilers here. So I don't want to say...
I'm just kidding.
Okay, it's a jerk move, though, because you're really not supposed to. A municipality is not supposed to backdate your taxes like that. But anyway.
So I have a very important question. What is a paper about this episode focused on? Is it about the communism?
No, it's about the similarities between like our economy now and the conditions in Quark's bar.
Oh, that's going to be a long
Using,
paper.
like-
There's a lot.
Yeah, it has to use like sources from our course and stuff.
What's kind of interesting is like people with family or like racial ties, like the Ferengi, they're treated better than the Bajorans, at the bar. So anyway, there's a stratification based on class and race, somewhat.
And apparently everyone is shunning Quark, I think is the implication here.
And that's the Bajoran cleansing ceremony that he's hating on.
Guild of Restaurant and Casino Employees.
That
sounds
ceremony,
an awful like the U word.
That's be the most. Ceremony winds up being the most unlucky thing for Quark possible.
Quark, if you want to stay a Ferengi business owner, you can't even entertain that. Throw that on the ground and stomp on it.
I mean, that's what he does.
Really great performance here by Armin Sherman.
Love when he laughs here at the end.
Perfectly describes how, like, when unions were first formed, the bosses first felt.
Yeah, my favorite like behind the scenes fact about this episode is that Armin Shimmerman was president of SAG, which is like the Screen Actors Union.
Oh
shit,
that's right.
So
really?
It's fun to see him be this anti-union.
Oh, yeah,
I guess he has experience.
It's like he's a good actor or something.
Interesting. Yeah.
Good for Armin.
But he's having extra fun. But here's what I don't get. Since when do unions pay people not to
Since
go
it's
into
a Ferengi
restaurant? 'Cause they're just
union.
giving out.
They don't know
So
how to work
they're giving
without
out-
bribery.
Strike support is a thing, isn't it?
Okay, right, but they're paying customers Latinum strips to not go in the restaurant.
Oh,
Yeah,
customers.
that's really weird.
That's a very Ferengi approach to it. Yeah.
They're
They're
bribing
bribing
people to not go in.
That's
That's everything they know.
Yeah, instead of hiring the Hell's Angels to like throw people around if they try to go in,
Yeah.
they're just bribing them.
And then
But I don't think they can set up a giant inflatable Cardassian vole in front of Quarks. Kind of shame people.
I would love a giant
Much as we'd love
inflatable
to see
Cardassian
that.
vole.
Cool as that would be to see, yeah.
Well, at least we didn't get strike busters in this episode, because other than the two Nausicaans.
So who all is in the bar right now? There's a Packlet and some people in the background, but I can't tell who the people in the background are.
More.
Oh, those are the Ferengi outside, and a holographic
Turn
Quark.
of the 20th century, all those workers would have gotten beaten to a bloody pulp, not just Quark or Rom or something.
Sorry, since I'm pretty new here, what are you guys watching? What are you guys watching in that? So I can catch up.
Let me type it in.
All right.
Thoughts on what?
Oh, we're watching Deep Space Nine.
Okay, yeah, I see that. Okay.
Season 4,
Right, and we're
episode
watching season
15, The
4.
Bar Association.
Okay, yeah, I see that. I'm on the stream.
Shows some of his true colors.
Yeah, second fiddle, I got you. Yeah. Okay. 22 minutes in. Okay. Oh, so is this still Bar Association? I thought you guys watched that.
Yes,
have
it
to
is
catch up.
right now Bar Association. Oh, Vulcan's not going in.
This
That's
is
right.
a weird game they play. Why are
We've
they
already
saying
seen-
who's
Yeah. We've already seen one Packlet in there, so more Packlets.
Yeah, at the end of the episode, or is it the beginning? There's another like big Packlet lady coming through.
This is very Jake and Nog.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, Worf, what are you doing? What are you doing, man?
He needs
This
his.
scene made no sense.
Yeah, Worf is Russian. I feel like he should have a better a better sense of class solidarity.
I think was he just going in there to support the strikers?
Cold
No,
War's
I don't
over.
think that's
He's
exactly
a
what's
capitalist
happening.
now.
Why do they have this fight then?
Because Worf was supporting Quark, not the strikers.
Right.
I don't think Worf cared. It was just time for his nightly prune juice. He didn't even care. He was oblivious
Well,
to
he
it.
should care.
I think they said
What's
he
wrong
never
with you,
goes in
Worf?
there normally. So why would he be going in there now?
He goes in very rarely. He barely sets foot in there, but sometimes.
We've seen him with Jadzia.
Yeah, he goes for a prune juice occasionally. Goes to hang out with Jadzia.
Right.
He's definitely not
He
in love with, honest.
He doesn't like Quark all that much, but he'll frequent the place every now and again.
He was probably like, "Oh, it's empty. Nice. It's nice and quiet."
Right.
Probably.
That's true, because that's probably it. Because remember, he
Worf
does
likes the
go on,
solitude.
live on the Defiant. At the end of this episode, or is it the next one?
I think that was a while ago.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
that was
he's-
last week. Yeah.
Yeah, he's on the Defiant already.
Yeah, and then no, but Kira says, "What are you gonna do all the way out there, Jadzia?" And he goes like, "Look, I just like it by myself. You guys are gonna have to adapt to me." I mean, he didn't have any problems sleeping in his quarters on the Enterprise.
He found Deep Space
On the
Nine
Enterprise,
separate-
where else would he go? Would he go and sleep in a shuttle pod? He doesn't. He kind of has to live with it. No, you don't know much about Ferengi culture, because you're racist against Ferengi.
Where's Frankie?
And
He's racist against
another-
all Ferengi. Cisco seriously has a problem with that species.
From episode 1, we know that the Federation pretty much asks Quark not to leave because they want some kind of regularity or normality on the station. They don't want it to be. So, I mean, Quark was on his way out because
Yeah.
Seems left it such a mess.
Yeah, speaking of Cisco's racism, he was in an early episode. Jake was like hanging out with some Bajoran girl, and then her dad said, "No, you can't hang out with him because he's not Bajoran." It's like, I'm sorry, Jake. That's not a good reason for anything. Nobody should be like that. But then at the same time, he's saying you shouldn't hang out with that Noggin. He's a Ferengi. It's like, what is wrong with you? What's wrong with you, Cisco?
I mean, when you think about it, though, on his station, Ferengi are the source of most security problems. Like, even the Uridian merchant and the arms trafficker is like connected to Quark somehow.
What if it were bricks?
I mean, Quark is involved in a lot of smuggling and information trafficking. He's really bourgeoisie.
He's just a typical bar owner, really.
Apart from the
that's
smuggling?
true. I know Barkeeps always did smuggling.
But yeah, there's always some seedy stuff going on at the bar.
Yeah, and Barkeeps always did information exchange too, because everybody talks to a barkeep.
Exactly. Yeah, espionage.
You have nothing to lose but your chains.
We even get a picture of Lenin in this episode, right?
Do we? That would be amazing. I would love a picture of Lenin in this episode. Maybe some Karl Marx in here. Oh, it'd be great.
I don't remember that.
God.
It's okay. I can pull up my own picture of Lenin.
It better be Patrick Stewart, Lennon.
Sure.
Don Lennon.
Frankie's found their goal pass on them.
Oh, hi, Jeff FCA.
Frankie said they have their. Frankie said they have their goal pass on them.
All right. Here is Patrick Stewart as Lenin.
Another deep
Perfect. No deepfake. That's just him.
Okay.
Man, I should find out what that's from and watch it. I want to see Patrick Stewart as Lennon. I bet it's just called Lennon, but you're gonna have to find out. Apparently, it's a 13-part British drama called Fall of Eagles.
Starred Patrick Stewart, starring in many kinds of movies. It's not the Star Trek, but it's it's not Star Trek related. That's all I can say.
I also like Patrick Stewart as Captain Ahab. It's pretty good there.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
What was that line delivery from her? It was very interesting. Are they just... Was that necessary? You just opened the door. FCA. Broik, shut up, man. Do we ever see a nice Nausicaan? Are they always evil?
Yeah, they're meant to look evil.
They're just menacing. I mean, there was an episode of Enterprise when they were... I mean, they were still villains, but they were like... They were the reasonable villains.
Is that the one
show up in
where one of them was like held hostage
Yeah,
on a cargo
yeah.
ship? I can't take
so
that
we do get a
episode
nice one.
seriously because the villain's name is Ryan, but it just is
That's
like
an
it's
excellent
not a
name.
threatening name.
That is an excellent name.
Damjat, human.
Ryan did not play Damjat with Nausicaan. Yeah, that actor... I know he shows up elsewhere in Star Trek. I don't remember where. He's in other episodes. Enterprise, Ryan Nausicaan. Let me find out what his name is. Okay, the episode
Their
is Fortunate Son.
Terrifying. And also, I don't think anyone could... Like, they're always 7 feet tall, 80 feet.
Oh, right. On Deep Space Nine, the season 1 or 2 episode where the storyteller, where O'Brien has to, like, he goes to Bajor and he has to tell the story to fend off the big cloud monster. That thing. He was the Sarah's assistant there. He was the guy who really wanted to be the Sarah.
Oh, hello.
Hi, I started my video so they can see me.
It is your prerogative. Yeah, Lawrence Monison.
Wait, what's a frule?
It's the name of the Ferengi on the ground.
His name.
Oh,
He was a Union man. Sean O'Brien.
Aloysius.
Aloysius.
Thank you.
Nice overhead shot. And Broik is still cowering on the floor. I think
No,
that's
that's
Broik.
Frule.
That's Frule? Okay.
I'm disappointed they seem to have dropped the alcohol theme for Ferengi names. Nog and Ishka and yeah.
Yep, there's Mr. Fiddle. Also known as Earview. I mean, you can change your name back. You don't have to be Fiddle. You could be Earview. Though you seem to be muted, I can see you talking on your camera, but I don't hear anything. Maybe just not talking to us.
We're not cool enough.
We're not cool enough. We're not cool enough for the
Be
fiddle.
bandwidth or something. I think bandwidth and video kind of go against each other, but
Okay.
Because we're also streaming the show.
Yeah. God, speaking of, so my area for a long time had pretty bad internet. You could get up to like 100 megabits, but it was somewhat expensive. But for my purposes, because I'm so computer bound, I had to get it anyway. Blah blah blah. But recently they added in gigabit, which is amazing. And for some reason, it was cheaper than the old 100 megabit plan. I don't know what the change is there. 10 times the speed for literally less money.
The upload value change. So when they save the money on the upload rate, they give you.
Because the pricing for internet capability is all a lie.
Because it's a monopoly.
I mean, it is, but I would figure it would go up because because it's a monopoly. They're the only they're the only real internet company here, so they can charge whatever they want and people have to pay it.
So you're complaining, or?
I'm just confused.
Yeah. No, like I said, I think when a lot of times internet providers roll out, they promise equal upload and download speeds, and then over time, as the more people populate the network, they have to like renege on that a little bit and be like, all right, well, you're going to be able to upload, download more faster, but your uploads are going to be more restricted, and that's more to throttle the people who are torrenting. So that's
they're kind of phasing it, but make it still hear you.
The reason they do that is just because the way that cable systems are designed, because they were designed initially for just broadcast or just for television, so they don't have the channels in place to be able to handle a lot of upload. So they have an asymmetrical connection. So you can have an absolute ton of download, but your upload, you don't have sufficient channels to handle.
Yeah, mine's a gigabit down and like a maximum of 100 up. Though usually I don't get that.
Now I know. Sorry, Ryan.
Though that doesn't really matter to me because I upload videos that are 30 seconds long, and that's the most intensive thing I do, upload, so whatever.
Company Spectrum, I think they say like up to whatever speed.
Yes.
So like they give themselves an out, which is misleading.
Oh yeah, I say I get 1,000 up, but 1,000 down, but really I just did a speed test. I'm currently getting 600 out of that 1,000.
Yeah.
Is it Nausicaans throwing knives at each other? I don't know if that.
Lovin, darts.
Oh yeah,
darts.
Yeah. And I'm currently getting 40 megabits up. 40 megabits upload.
According to IMDb, these are professional dart players that they brought in just to do this.
Just so they would be. I mean, that makes sense because they want to hit the exact right spot. They don't want to accidentally stab someone.
Yeah, it looks great.
As the camera circles around them, the game keeps going on.
Yeah, you can see that guy has a little bit of... He has like some armor right where they're throwing it. His clothing bulks out a little there.
I would accidentally throw it against someone's face.
Drake is going on a strike. Right?
I mean, that's what Quark did. He threw all the darts at once and just impaled someone.
Oh, now I think I remember. That's where the Frank is going on strike. That's why he said strike. Sometimes I don't know I don't know the topics of the episode if I'm making sense. Like I don't like I hear the episode names, but I don't actually know what the storyline is. In other words, what they mean.
Same. Like I'll see the name and I'll start watching it with you guys, and then like at some point I'll be like, "Oh, this is the one with blank,"
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the one with something. Yeah.
Kind of nice.
Hey, we've got like 500, 600 episode names to remember. It's hard.
Keeps it fresh.
Oh,
You don't have every single episode name memorized? Come on, what are you doing?
come on, guys, come on.
Look,
You shouldn't
one
even.
of
You have no
one of
business
my
being on this
biggest
show.
complaints about Discovery, especially season 1, the episode names are impossible to remember. They're like in Latin
yeah.
and they're 5 words long. It's like, come on. I can't.
Yeah. No,
Just
even
1 or 2
Broken
words.
Arrow. I thought like most Enterprise names were pretty unimaginative.
Well, proving your point there, because the episode is actually called Broken Bow.
Okay.
Broken Bow. Was it
TNG and Deep Space
Montana?
Nine had really good names for their episodes. Like Deep Space Nine had Latin names too, though, but that was like bomb Latin stuff, like Enter Arma and Silent Legacy,
Yeah.
which Cicero wrote during times of war. The law falls silent. So if you want to learn Cicero, watch Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, I remember that one, and I remember like the Discovery episode "Context is for Kings" because Lorca said in that episode, "Context is for Kings." That was an important plot point, like Inter Arma Einem Sealant Legis was. Magic to make the sanest man go mad was pretty good.
Or Silence has lease.
In the pale moonlight, because it really conveys how dark that episode is.
Now, is it in the pale moonlight or is it in the pale moonlight?
Future's End too.
It's moonlight, one word, I believe.
What's the difference?
Moonlight or
That's
moonlight?
that's one of my favorite Star Trek Voyager episodes.
The Future's End?
Something about it. Yeah, the Future's End. Something about it.
I love it too.
I guess
Quark
Lovin
is bad.
is the universe.
I like the
What are you
time
gonna do,
travel
Quark?
episodes.
Yeah, something with time travel.
Oh, I thought Quark was going to threaten him here. I thought it was going to be like, dissolve the Union, or I'm going to kill you.
Don't they even find SETI in that Voyager's Future End episode? It's really cool how they.
Yeah.
What? I'm sorry.
Yeah, they get
use a
scanned by
satellite on Earth,
a ground
Time
telescope.
Voyager. By SETI, which is the search for extraterrestrial life. So they have someone working at a real satellite station in that episode in Voyager.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's Sarah Silverman, I think, right?
Yeah.
They do the same thing in that episode where they're in orbit of that planet where time is accelerated by like 1,000 times.
Yeah.
One of the scenes is they have people looking in a telescope through to Voyager, and they go and like send them a radio message.
Actually, pretty
The
cool.
Sky
They can-
Friends.
They can find them. They can actually find the ship. They can find the ship up in orbit, and here they are. They're up in space.
So that thing behind Worf to the right, what is that? Because that looks like a weapons locker.
I was going to say a baby changing station, but yeah.
Baby changing station.
Yeah.
I think
flips
Sarah
down.
Silverman was only in one episode, unless that was a two-parter. But
It was a two-parter.
okay, technically 2 episodes, but the one.
Because that's
thing.
when the Doctor gets his emitter.
Right.
Right.
And then Tom Paris calls Tuvok a real freakazoid.
Yeah,
Which,
that's
rude.
an awesome episode.
Freakosaurus.
Freakasaurus, that's right.
Freakosaurus. Yeah, I like the personally I like the Doctor. He's just very random.
The Doctor's the best character.
He's very random to me. Like he'll be
Wait,
doing
every Bajoran?
random stuff.
Yeah, the strike's over.
So Quark totally sold out. Quark agreed to give them all their demands in 6 months. Rom said now, and he said okay.
A double
Except
order
for
of
the fact that you don't have a union anymore. So like any
Yeah.
time Quark tries to do anything else to them, they can't really fight back in the same way.
Yeah.
You don't have the momentum you did last time.
I mean, hey,
You
they can
can't
just form the
institute
Union
life.
again.
Not the same momentum. And again, it's stronger to have an institution in place.
They do still have to hide it from Brunt FCA, though. They have to be sneaky about it.
Like here, like there's the lingering, idea of a unionization, even if there's not a formal union, I guess.
Oh.
Right. And also, we never hear them mistreated again. Like Lita later marries, and they all seem fine. Like none of them seem like they're starving.
Yeah, they're cool. Well,
like
Rom doesn't even work for him anymore, evidently. Apparently, the Ferengi do not believe in 2-week notices, which is probably fair.
I mean, a 2-week notice is a courtesy, so...
It is.
It is.
But I mean, it seems a bit off somehow to show up to work on the day you're scheduled and then just say, no, I'm not working. I'm done.
Like, you could have called them, whatever.
Could have called, like, the night before, at least. Come on.
I have absolutely no sympathy for Quark. Under any circumstances.
Yeah, he's not... Yeah, I have walked off the job from employers, and it's been. By the way, I've done it for my family employers, so no regret. If you treat me like, garbage, then you don't get a 2-week notice. Middle finger, even if you're my family.
Walk in there, look him right in the eye.
Look him right in the lobes.
If you are my mom, I quit.
Yeah, it was my dad, but like, yeah, I mean, it was like, business and blood don't mix, but I'm walking off and I'm sorry, I'm not giving you 2 weeks notice. I'm not even helping train the next guy because he treated me like such garbage. We're blood, but you did me wrong.
All right, so the next episode is Accession with the fake emissary, Cisco. And that about sums that up. That's going to be the whole episode.
Rom grew up. I'm proud of him. I know I said that already.
Yes.
Like twice, but
1 minute
at the beginning, Quark is browbeating him, and by the end of it, he has moved out. He has his own job. He has a career waiting for him.
Did you say browbeating?
Yeah, that's a phrase.
Yeah,
it's not a common phrase, but it's a real phrase.
I've never heard that. What does it mean?
See, like,
Yeah, I'm unsure myself, but I just think it just means like
Chewing someone out
with your force of will. Yeah.
To intimidate, typically into doing something with stern or abusive words.
Okay. Yeah. So
I'm sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
15 seconds to a session.
It's also a good Rom episode because you see kind of the sparks with him and Lita for the first time, I think. Really.
Right. Yeah.
Everyone press play in 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
Is this accession or accession?
Accession.
No, it's
Accession.
accession.
No.
Accession.
I think it's accession.
Accession.
It's accession.
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 Nope. Accession.
But apparently,
Accession.
the Rom and Lita thing wasn't like planned. They just saw that the two actors had like chemistry, and we're like, we're gonna write that in.
Because remember, she was Julian's thing at the beginning, right? Well, I don't mean thing, but...
In fact, she's going... I don't think she has been Julian's girlfriend yet. I think that's later. Because, yeah, they break up and let He Is Without Sin. We haven't seen that yet.
Okay, sorry.
So the word accession means to acquire a position of rank or power, which is what happens in this episode. It is accession.
I'm going to keep saying accession.
I mean,
every
it's fine if you want to be wrong. I don't have a problem with
I do want to be wrong. Yes, thank you. When Keiko walks off like this, I always think it's going to be the episode where she's possessed and is planning to like murder him.
That was exactly what I was thinking. I'm like, oh no, is this that? Nope. Okay, good.
To be clear, Keiko is fine here. She's okay. That doll looks really creepy. It looks like Chucky and it's going to murder me. But Keiko is fine.
It's a Bajoran doll. It has a little Bajoran nose.
Surprise!
There shouldn't be any surprise pregnancies in the future. You take your injection or you don't.
But when he said
they
it
were
was
trying.
only one night, is he implying that he doesn't believe her or something?
So
No, I think he's
my
just
read of it is
disappointed
he
it was only one
secretly
night.
feels concerned he's not going to say it because, you know, that's an awful thing to accuse someone of.
Right.
But he feels concerned that she might have gotten pregnant by someone else on her long trip.
I don't think it's that. I think it's just he's disappointed he didn't get to have more sex.
Maybe. That might also be it.
Yeah.
Oh
And
boy, it's
this-
that guy.
Vedic is the slimiest guy in this episode.
What do you mean? He just wants to enforce a caste system and step on the lower classes. What's the issue?
He loves Cisco when he's the emissary, and as soon as the other emissary, the anti-emissary, shows up, then he starts groveling before him.
Look, he has a high. What do you even call it? Look, I don't know enough about caste systems. He has a high level name. He has a high tier name. S tier.
S tier Jajara.
S tier Dejara. What do you call high caste in caste systems? Is there a name for that?
Elite.
Upper castes, upper class.
I mean, fortunately, he would never murder anybody. He seems like a nice guy.
Yeah.
Very non-murdery.
Yeah, that's his redeeming factor.
Oh, he's been studying
Not
his
like he would-
Bajoran.
Push anyone over a railing.
So when it switches emissaries later in the episode, does everyone who has been blessed by Cisco up to this point just assume their blessing doesn't count anymore?
Right, that's the implication.
No, I think Kira explains it in the sense that until this guy showed up, Cisco was the emissary. Now the new guy's the emissary. And then by the end of the episode, it's Cisco again.
They just swap out emissaries whenever someone new shows up?
It's like having a rival papal claimant, basically. It's not supposed to happen, in other words.
I guess since the prophets don't care about time, they don't care if Cisco's alive or dead for when they switch emissaries. Oh, it's that same Bajoran light ship.
They call him the emissary in episode 1, right? Or is it just the
Yes.
Cisco?
Episode 1, emissary.
Yeah, that is the title of episode 1, in fact.
Right.
Yeah, that's the same type of ship that Cisco built and they went off an adventure with Jake.
It's the light ship.
Yep,
Sailor.
Solar Sailor. I don't know how it has air. How it still, has... What's it called? It's still airtight? Space-worthy?
It's been in, Prophet magic stasis.
Yeah. But it looks pretty beat up in any case.
So I have one problem with
I
this
mean, it would be-
episode that is completely related to me and me only.
Okay.
Because this guy is playing a poet, and the actor looks exactly like one of my college professors who was the poetry professor in the English department.
Is
And
this
I
your poetry professor?
absolutely-
Is it just the same guy?
No, he just looks like him.
Okay.
And I absolutely hated this professor. He was the worst teacher I'd ever had, and I hate this episode because of that. It's completely
Gotcha.
me.
I had one in high school. I had a nature writing class, and the teacher there was widely known as... He was He was the meanest teacher, but everyone for some reason really liked him. He was really harsh, but people were down with it. It was weird.
He was negging students.
Kinda. I'll have you know, I won second place in a nature writing competition.
Not to tell you what to do, but would you mute for a second and blast your DS9 volume so you can hear that synth note that I've been telling you about? Or whenever you get a
Okay.
chance. Thank you.
Are you talking about the dun 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 dun?
Yes.
I can't hear your response, but I'm going to assume that was a yes.
Yes. I said yes. Hello? Yes.
Okay, I've now turned down D-Space 9. Yes, there
Someone
is that nice
mentioned
little
before-
dun 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 dun.
Yeah, that they changed the opening in this season. Somebody mentioned that this was a model, but there's some CG in this opening too. The first, you could see a couple of shots where they added a CG model at the station and the Defiant as well.
Yeah, they're starting to
define
transition
CG.
to more CG for sure.
Right here.
Runabouts.
Yeah, this is all CG right here. Like the first 3 seasons, it was just strictly that model stuff, but now they went more to CG.
We got the synth vibe.
Yeah, the way the Defiant swoops out and the resolution on it changes, it does look not like a filmed model. This looks pretty good, though.
Cool music, though, right? Cool addition to the theme.
Yeah, it's nice.
I know. I still don't like it. It's too rhythmic. Nothing in the rest of the song is too rhythmic. It's weird.
It needs lyrics, I think.
True.
They're trying to amp it up. It was kind of very, symphony-like the first 3 seasons. They wanted to make this a little bit more edgy. The war's coming.
So you want lyrics?
Yeah. Do you think Cisco has faith? It seems like Cisco has faith.
Oh, rude.
He is the emissary.
Another comment too. These last 3 episodes we just watched, they're very low budget. I mean, they spent a lot of money on the first couple of episodes of the season, The Way of the Warrior. You could see they're making up for it. I mean,
that's why they hired just some guy's poetry professor. They couldn't hire a proper actor.
Like 90% of the last episode takes place in a bar.
But they had so many actors there with speaking roles. In addition to the main cast.
Yeah, they blew all their money on Jeffrey Combs.
Yeah.
I would think it's great to have a 200-year-old poet come back to us. Paul Whitman.
Yeah, it's always a problem with people in the distant past. Can you imagine if even a hero from the 1900s or the 1800s came back?
Every single sentence you would be telling them, you can't say that anymore. You can't. No.
Is that the invalid?
Horrible racism is something people forget.
This is the thing. People are like, what would it'd be great if we could have the founding fathers come back. Do you
so
realize
what if Jefferson owned a couple
era?
hundred slaves? That's fine.
Yeah, I remember telling my law professor, I believe in strict constitutionalism, what the founding fathers believed. And Stu said, well, they would have probably been okay with execution by hanging and firing squad. So I'm pretty sure, we don't want that today.
I mean, they did specifically state that the Constitution was supposed to be changed on the regular, and we just didn't. It just wasn't changed except for a few amendments.
Yeah, we added really productive things like prohibition, and then immediately repealed it.
Didn't they say the plan was for it to be changed like every 20 years?
Yeah, and even Jefferson said that the tree of liberty must be refreshed from time to time with the blood of patriots and tyrants.
Yep.
So in other words, you're supposed to have a new government every so often just to keep in touch with the people.
Yeah. Though I prefer to keep my blood right where it is, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's complicated about that, right? Because you can't say that's good and then say storming a capital is bad.
So here's a poetry professor.
Because those people are thinking the same thing.
It looks exactly like him.
Compare for yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my professor.
I have to be honest. I almost didn't believe you. I'm like, it probably looks kind of like him. No, it looks exactly like him.
It's not the same person.
Yes, I'm sure.
And this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, or 1, or 2, or 1, or 2.
What are you, an optometrist?
Yes.
I got to go to the eye doctor next week. Actually, that's good practice.
Okay. God, I don't need to go to the eye doctor, but I do need to stop buying glasses. I keep seeing glasses on sales. Yeah, I could use an extra pair. I'm up to 5 or 6 pairs of glasses.
So at the beginning of this episode, Cisco doesn't want to be emissary, but because he loses the title and he sees how other people can abuse it over the people that he loves, the Bajoran people.
Yep.
He kind of embraces it at the end.
So how many pairs of glasses, for those of you who do wear glasses, how many pairs do you have?
I have 5.
Okay.
And that includes my sunglasses or prescription also.
Including sunglasses? 3, I think.
Yeah, I was looking at some of them on sale.
Words.
Yeah. I was looking at some on sale. It was like, what? I was about to buy them. It's like, it's actually been, I just buy so many glasses. It's been years since I've seen an optometrist. Maybe I should get an eye exam to make sure the prescription's the same before I keep just buying more.
Probably a good idea.
You're
How many pairs do you have?
Like 5 or 6.
Supposed to go every year.
Okay.
I have not gone every year.
I'm gonna say something unorthodox, but basically, when you wear glasses, all the time, your vision kind of gets weaker. So then they just give you a stronger prescription every time, and they don't realize that like basically your eyes have just adapted to your frame.
The last 2 prescriptions I got were years apart,
stronger.
and they were the same.
Okay, so yeah, if they're the same, then you should be fine.
I just
feel
haven't
like mine
gotten
gets stronger every year.
Okay.
Yeah, it's part of it's genetic, and sometimes you plateau. Like I had 5 or 6 years where it kept getting worse, and then it just leveled off at a certain prescription after a while.
As time goes on, because your eyes get used to it.
Okay, thanks.
Totally, yeah.
Right.
My wife is having a
Not
baby.
to derail this conversation, but Bashir was just hanging out on the promenade with a beer. Like, is there open container laws?
Apparently not,
on
no.
these days then?
He's an alcoholic, so
He has
Beers
a
are
lot
allowed.
to deal with. He has a very stressful
Alcoholic.
job.
yeah, he's like any doctor. He drinks in all his off hours. So come on.
Besides, he wasn't loitering. He was waiting for his best friend.
That took a while to get you.
He is friends with the head of security, so he probably gets away with whatever.
I think there's a Bajoran festival or something happiness for the emissary going on.
But yeah,
no
open
phasers.
container took a while to get used to when I first moved here, because there are no rules about that aside from a couple
Okay.
countries
Sure.
in Europe. You can walk
that?
around and drink all you want.
Why, you walking around in your lederhosen with a giant bug of beer on your Oktoberfest? What's going on over there?
Yeah, he's good.
You guys catch this before? This is great. He goes, now?
Germany has open container you can have anywhere.
Most of Europe does. Or at least most of Western Europe, yeah.
Europe is a very chill place.
Yeah, America's weird about alcohol, it turns out. We're really the opposite.
Oh, he'll be away from the station at that time, Worf. Where will you be, Worf? Oh, okay.
Michael
Hi,
Jordan
Worf.
is so great at these little scenes with so little dialogue, and he just crushes it.
He has parents in there.
Yeah, he does a lot with very little dialogue.
The little dialogue was Keiko's having a baby right now.
Now?
Again? Oh god.
Yeah, that's why I'm here drinking, of course. Come on.
Ruff just wants to drink prune juice. That's what he does.
Right.
Yeah, it looks like... Yeah, O'Brien is mostly concerned, apparently. Not about the cheating, but about... He doesn't feel quite
Right, about
ready
the
right
prune juice.
now. Just give him a break.
What's in O'Brien's little briefcase there? Is it his tools? I mean, what is he carrying
Yeah, that's his
around?
toolbox.
It's booze. Lots of booze.
His booze box?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, quick hit. I don't know.
Yeah, so it was Oktoberfest at DS9. That's why he was having a big container.
All right.
It's a crane shot. This is awesome.
Yeah, hoisting it up from the ceiling. That's why they have all those overhangs everywhere, so they can hoist cameras up.
That's probably true, actually.
Good observation.
I'm just looking at the thing on the left.
All the way in. This is great.
Quick, nobody look at the camera. I know it's hard not to look at something that's moving right in front of you, but to just stare at the prophet. Stare at the emissary.
Just probably just a big
Is it like when they do those photo shoots with a dog? Do they just hold like a ball up in front of them and say, "Hey, look here, look here, look here"?
Yeah, that's what I do.
No, seriously, there'll be like a tennis ball on top of a camera. That's
Yeah,
the thing
man.
that happens.
All right, we're on to Emissary 2, Holy Boogaloo.
Way to go with your circular reasoning, Kira. Good job.
Is that a fish skeleton in the background? Back and to the right.
No, that's a medical symbol
No,
for the
okay.
infirmary.
Yeah, he's
I,
outside the
I know.
infirmary.
I know that's the dark thing to the right, not the medical.
I don't think it's a fish symbol. I see what you're talking about.
I don't think that was the fish though. We got a little bit of a closer shot of it.
No, the infirmary's at the wrong end of the promenade for the fish too. So.
I still appreciate that they actually built the promenade.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. The fish
Have
is
you
actually by
seen-
the Replomat.
Quarter of the promenade.
That's pretty funny. But have you seen any Star Trek episodes where there was actually bursts that happened? For example, like there were faints that made it on the air, like that shouldn't have been on the air, but made it on the air anyway.
Yeah, we watched those.
Yeah, there's mistakes here and there.
Watch
Yeah.
those.
Like in an episode where Garrick and Worf are fighting on the Defiant, they knock over one of the back panels when they're fighting, and it reveals a drawing table in the background.
Yeah. I like seeing mistakes when they film episodes.
Do you think everyone clapping here is of an upper caste?
I think it's pretty
Everyone
funny.
who's unhappy with this is lower caste?
Well, Kira's actually a pretty high caste, and she doesn't look very happy.
She has to go
an
be
artist.
a sculptor.
She's an artist class.
Yeah, she doesn't want to stop being a, employed officer.
She's upper class relative to the other Bajorans, but she's going down from where she is now. And nobody is questioning the fact that this guy is the emissary. No one's like, there's no loyalist for Sisko.
None.
Oh, geez, are you trying to get rid of Shakar? Oh, geez,
Do they
enforcement
have,
of the jars by legal sanction.
When in this episode at all?
I don't... Is Win in this episode? I don't remember her being here.
No, they talk about her. They say that she is the one who's going to she'll be okay if Bajor has to withdraw its application from the Federation right now. Here,
Oh, Kai Win and I've already discussed it. We're willing to make the sacrifice in order to follow the will of the prophets. Yeah,
Basically,
Kai Win
he
is
just
a very traditional Orthodox sect. So she'd
she's
probably be
gonna
down
be
for
in
the
his
jars.
pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah, otherwise known as we couldn't get Louise Flasher for this episode.
Yeah, right.
She was busy. I mean, they also can't have Kai Win because they can't have Kai Win be the one who murders someone. She can't go to jail.
She's not necessary on this episode. Like, she can just stay on Bajor and do his bidding.
Yeah.
It's really the conflict between Sisko and the false emissary here.
It's very unclear to me whether they can actually sense anything or if it's just a gut feeling they have.
I think he was like trying to psychologically intimidate Sisko there.
Yeah. Are they doing cold readings whenever they grab someone's ear?
Yeah. Your pach is strong, Ryan.
Thanks. I grew it myself.
What?
Don't worry about it. So I noticed that Sisko has just a normal mug, where everyone else has the weird cone things.
Yeah, those mugs suck, by the way. Like,
I keep saying that, but people keep calling me out for it.
oh no, you're right, Ryan.
Thank you.
I'm noticing the mugs.
I'm with you. I'm anti-mug.
Down with the cone mugs.
I would pay $15 for a Replomat mug.
Go take a pottery class, make one yourself.
Yeah. Just watch Cisco's cup. Like, that's just a solid cup.
Yeah, look at that.
Tall.
Do mugs depend on caste? Is that true? Sisko is of the very highest caste, so he gets a normal cup. He is graced with one.
I guess culturally, though, it is very hard for a
I think
society
so.
to
It depends on the actor's preference.
And you're
Depends
probably
on
right,
the
Kevin.
actor's preference on how much monk they want to use. They like to use.
It probably was just like the prop master asking the actor, like, what kind of cup do you want, or whatever.
And Avery Brooks, God bless him, he took just the normal cup.
They
He's
must have
like-
given him.
So
I was gonna say, he's like, I'm in charge here. I'm just getting like the regular power mug. I'm not using the cone
I
mug.
just pick what it's in the props. Okay.
Do you think Cisco, as the ex-emissary, gets benefits still? Does he have some lingering religious powers like an ex-president?
Or something.
Beyond the mugs, or what do you mean?
Beyond the mugs, other than the
Like,
mugs.
they treat him like dirt here.
Or they just, you're not
Like
the emissary
who?
anymore, we don't care about you, go away.
Who? Benjamin Captain?
He is the Cisco.
No, we got the poetry guy. Ralph Waldo Emerson.
Yeah, that's definitely not a fish. Absolutely not. That looks like a restaurant sign, though. That looks like a lobster,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, it's got to be some kind of restaurant, I would think.
I don't think it's the Klingon restaurant.
A rotary wheel or something. Yeah, you're right. She
Oh,
said
the
a new
Klingon
bowling place.
symbols would be more obvious.
Oh,
She said
I was gonna say, like, how did the lighting just change? It's a vision. Of course it's a vision.
Continuity error. Day for night.
They forgot the electric bill.
She was in.
I'm just surprised everything's not all blurry and yellow like it usually is.
It's
You
not
probably,
Mexico.
You probably did forget about the electrical.
No, the visions are always take place in Mexico. Okay, so was that not a vision? Are you actually awake right now?
Now, this is at a point where Cisco didn't talk regularly to the prophets yet. Like, he didn't have that electrical shock thing, whatever it was in that episode. What was it? Rapture, I think.
Yeah.
So, it does
The
have
locusts.
visions every now. Yes,
Called this-
right.
He called this an orb shadow.
An orb shadow.
Oh, I mean, if you want the explanation, never mind.
Okay.
Sometimes hallucinogenic drugs can have a flashback, so that was a flashback basically for.
I feel like Cisco is not on hallucinogens. That seems unlikely.
Yeah, but he's having a flashback from an orb experience,
Okay.
or like the temple experience.
Cardassian sushi.
Brian,
Cardassian sushi. I love that so much.
Ryan, you were right about
I mean, that particular sign wasn't
Ryan,
fish, but
you
there
were
definitely
right
is a
about it
fish,
being
yes.
a fish.
That would make
Ryan
sense.
was totally-
I guess since
Yeah,
they
Ryan was
drink
right.
hot fish juice.
No, that's the... No, you're right. That's Cardassians.
She was doing so great, she didn't have to smash the clay thing.
Come on, Kira. It's going to take more than like 20 minutes of practice.
This is me trying anything new. Just like, oh god, I suck at this. I'm not going to do it anymore.
I did take a pottery class once. I made some bowls. Oh, they're not great.
That's cute.
They work well enough, I guess, but oh, I wouldn't want to eat out of them.
You glazed them though.
Yeah.
It's fun.
So is
Why does
anyone
that-
going to write a paper about this Cardassian sushi sign? Because this is awesome.
Well, I don't know. Hannah?
Yeah.
Hannah, do we get a paper about Kardashian sushi?
Kardashian sushi.
Kardashian.
Yeah, it's the exploitation of Cardassian
Kardashian?
fish
Like Kim
has
Kardashian?
gone on for too long.
Gotcha.
That's my bad.
The,
I said Kardashian and not Cardassian because my brain doesn't work right on that stuff,
The
unfortunately.
relative morality of
Sorry, I thought
Cardassian
we
versus
were
American
talking
fishing
about Kim-
practices.
Kim Kardashian here.
Yeah, that's my bad. That's my bad.
Kardashian.
Are Cardassian eating habits less ethical because they themselves are reptiles? And they're eating sort of reptilian and fish?
Are they fully reptiles though? They're like
I don't bloody know.
they have to be There's something very strange about their anatomy, or they are like a reptilian mammalian combination. Because Cardassian women,
because they seem warm-blooded.
Cardassian women have mammalian characteristics. Let's put it that way,
including blue spoons.
And they don't appear to lay eggs for their young.
They're warm-blooded.
Yeah.
Because the Xindi reptilians, remember, they had to use the warming lights or something to keep their blood warm.
Well, Cardassians do like the heat, though.
They do.
Yeah, there's the one episode with
Ziyal and Garrick.
Ziyal on the
It's never definitively resolved. I would refer to a book called The Biology of Star Trek, which kind of does go into that, because it does go into Cardassian physiology.
Ziyal and Garrick is kind of a weird relationship. I guess Ziyal feels like she doesn't really have any choices, but Garrick's like twice her age, or more, 3 times.
And by the way, there are snakes that do sexual reproduction, so that might be a precedent.
And Cardassians are all snakes, we know it. You don't want to.
Or, I mean,
well, I guess this is strictly better than the next time they try to color together. Because the next time they try to color together is Hard Time. You know, the episode where O'Brien tries to kill himself after he almost smacks Molly.
Yeah, Molly just shades him out over here, though, for no reason. Like, you've been gone from your dad for like a year, and you don't want him to color with you? Like,
they're very fickle.
Yeah, and it kind of reminds me of that episode when everyone's, O'Brien's taken over by a fake android.
Oh.
Another callback.
4 shift is better for performance, as Jellicoe suggested. Thank you, Jellicoe.
Right again.
Kira suggested it also when Cisco was unconscious on the Defiant.
Right.
Hashtag Jellicoe was right.
Kira's leaving.
Jellicoe was right about everything. He was just a jerk about it.
Yeah,
Hashtag Kira's leaving.
You gotta learn to phrase things better, Jellicoe.
She's brainwashed by her faith.
This is an interesting conversation between Cisco and Kira, because she said something that they would have followed anything that Cisco wanted. He didn't realize that at the time. Maybe he did, but when he was
he doesn't want to exploit them.
I mean, if Bajor had joined the Federation by the time of the Dominion War, the Dominion would have destroyed Bajor.
Yeah.
So
as he
was really
in
important
a
that
vision.
Bajor. So it's good he didn't use his influence to bring Bajor.
Yeah, there's that one episode where Molly ages up. That's she falls through a time hole, and then they pull her out of the time hole, and then they send her back to the time hole, and then she's young again.
Yeah.
They sort that
Time's
out.
Orphan season 6.
Time's Orphan, yeah.
Yeah. Good one. Hey, do you know that there's the actor that plays to go into Caught? He played on TNG.
Marco Lamo, right?
Yeah. Mark and Mamo, yeah. Did you know he played on TNG? He was a Kardashian on there too.
Well, yes.
Yeah, we watched that yesterday.
Oh, The Wounded.
The Wounded.
Yeah. Played a Romulan.
Gol Maset with his weird facial hair.
So she's gonna go live.
It was Gol
Maset.
Gol Maset.
Yeah.
She's gonna go live with her artist friends in the city. Sorry.
What?
She grew up as a terrorist and to free her country, and now she has to leave her job as security chief and commander of the station.
Is she gonna develop a Valley Girl accent and go and travel?
It's gonna be her and her artist friends living in the city, like I don't know, Girls on HBO.
Bohemian. Kira.
Oh my god, did you see what the Jem'Hadar are wearing today? No, Kira.
Jesus.
She's making artisanal pickles and cheese.
Artisanal.
Yeah, they're gonna live in Brooklyn.
Somehow I think that is not the kind of person Kira is. I don't think that's her. God, I hate the strobe lights on the promenade. It would just be so painful for me to live it. Why is it strobe lights?
Everything has blinking lights. Even the dartboard has blinking lights.
Oh, hey,
Jesus.
Morn.
Stop lights.
She's gonna be rolling her own cigarettes.
I
Look
gotta
how
be
popular
careful,
Morn
mate.
is.
Warren has 2 girls around him. This guy is a
French
player.
press coffee, yeah. The ladies love Warren.
I gotta be careful, mate. I gotta be careful. I gotta be careful of saying that when O'Brien said that. I have my Amazon Alexa to set up to. I have it set up as my command mark computer.
Okay. Yeah, these two definitely very much miss each other. It's not the same.
He doesn't even finish his beer as he leaves. He's like,
He takes a single sip and is like, well, I'm done for today.
Well, when you don't have to pay for anything,
I
you
guess.
don't need to drink it all.
Do you not need to pay at Quarks?
Bashir and O'Brien together.
episode 1, Quark pays, O'Brien pays Quark in Federation credits. So you do have to pay.
I would think like you run a tab and probably settle out periodically.
Yeah, it's not anything.
Oh, right. I remember. If you remember the baseball episode, you know, that one. In the end of it, he's like, drinks for everyone on my tab. And they do it. They have a tab. How do you even fit Morn in a Spitfire? Those are not large planes.
They're just teasing us with this whole dialogue. Morn doesn't know where England is.
I like Warren.
Where is Bashir from? I know Siddiq al-Dahil al-Fadl Abdurrahman Muhammad Ahmed Abdul Karim al-Makdi is Sudanese, but what about Bashir?
I think
The
he's
mother's
from.
Indian, isn't she? Lakshmi or something, whatever her name
No.
is. Lakshmi.
I don't know.
Oh, we got
His
him. Right.
parents took him to another planet when he was a kid. They pushed him.
I'm just gonna look it up.
I know the
Bashir
actress
and
that
O'Brien
played the
together. I think they really made good friends.
Yep. You'd all be so lucky to have a
Their
friend.
Dejara is unclean.
Yeah, we all can use them. We all can use friends.
I mean, I wish I could be fighting the Battle of Britain in a fur coat.
His memory alpha page doesn't actually say where he was born.
Yeah, right. So, in other words, they never really go into it because remember, his parents took him to that genetic engineering planet.
Yep.
It's kind of like meant to be erase his birth records.
Genetically engineered.
Yeah, we find that out in the next season. That anyway.
I'd be inclined to say that Bashir is also Sudanese, but I don't think that's a good measure because, like, Harry Kim is supposedly Chinese, whereas the actor Garrett Wong.
Memory Beta says he was born in Great Britain, which is
Great Britain.
1, horribly vague, and 2, not backed up with anything. So I don't know.
I mean, he does have a British accent.
That's probably their jumping off.
Yeah, I always thought he was from Britain.
Yeah, I thought so too. But he never talks about, drinking tea while driving up the Thames or anything.
That's really non-specific. Plus, it could be like British colonies. Could be anything, really.
Could be Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
He could come from the same place as O'Brien.
It doesn't matter where you're born.
Oh, sorry.
It just matters where you're raised.
Sorry, there's no Northern Ireland in the future. There's the Irish unification of 22 whatever.
True.
I'll learn that space history.
Of 2022? Yeah, that's gonna happen. Like,
is it supposed to be 25?
Well, I mean,
Well,
we know at
no,
some
I'm
point
joking.
the UK went crazy because they took over Ireland and also France.
Okay, I looked it up. It's the Irish reunification of 2024.
No,
We're
that's gonna
almost
be
there.
a prophecy that Star Trek's gonna nail. Because with Brexit,
See, I always thought
Ireland
he was
is about to be-
okay, but UK, but I always thought he was from England. Not England, England.
Yeah, the actor was
Not
born
yet,
in
but
Sudan,
yeah.
but lived... I don't know where he lives now, but he lived or he grew up in England.
I
Yeah,
went to acting school there and all that.
Which is a really unique background, which also explains like why he gets so much work. I mean, he is Outside of Star Trek, he's in tons of stuff.
It was,
and it explains why a man with the name Siddiq Al Tahil Al Fadl Abdurrahman Muhammad Ibn Abdul Karim Al Mahdi has a British accent.
Alexander Siddig.
Yeah, because that's the actor's actual accent that he uses in DS9.
Sounds like
audio
Mexican
cut out.
to
Can you
me.
say that
Right.
again?
I like how if there's a dispute with the prophets, just go talk to the prophets. It's so much easier.
I understand that, I understand
Yeah,
that.
here's-
I understand British.
See,
I like
this is what I
how-
mean. It's blurry and yellow.
Here's our Vaseline cam, everybody.
I like how Cisco totally didn't just vaporize the new emissary and then come back and say he won.
Well, maybe that is what happened. Maybe this is just told from this is the story that Cisco told everyone.
Totally didn't do that.
Yeah, this camera filter with the Vaseline is the same thing they used to film women in TOS. If the camera is like on McCoy, it's perfectly crisp. Pan to the woman, it's just all blurry in Vaseline.
The Joan Collins episode is
That orange effect that they use is a noise.
That sounds like Alexa.
Yeah,
And-
that's Steve X I was talking to you about.
The prophets bring them back to the station. They're talking through the Deep Space Nine crew.
I might have to go on mute.
Didn't they have access to the prophets in the first episode? They didn't
Yeah,
want to
they
bring those people back.
yeah they met the prophets first thing.
yeah, really from the jump.
But you already got staff on payroll, so just shoot the footage, kick out the false emissary, have him embrace his role now as the redeemer of the Bajoran people.
Nobody's here. Oh, they are here.
What the Cisco would call the past.
So they don't call him emissary, or they just call him the Cisco, and he's supposed to understand the Cisco means the emissary.
What's the name of the lady at the mission in City of on the Edge of Forever? The one who dies?
Edith Keeler
Edith Keeler.
must die.
Must die, Captain.
Joan Collins is the actress.
Ooh, trying to one up me. I didn't know that, by the way.
She's like a famous actress from other stuff. It's not a Star Trek specific bit of trivia necessarily.
I mean, it's Star Trek trivia for sure.
I'm just trying to find that one scene I was talking about of switching cameras between McCoy and Keeler, and it just changes dramatically.
Yeah, because he's really sick and he looks like shit in that episode.
Right. I think the internet joke is that he's like on LSD or something, or bath salts, and he just runs
It's a fever
forever.
dream. Yeah, it's his view as feverish dying man. Yeah.
You know what that filter reminds me of? The lady filter. It reminds me of that scene in Lord of the Rings when Arwen shows up the first time, and she's all like glowing white, and she's wearing the like white chain thing, and then it fades out to what everyone else sees, and it's just some lady wearing travel clothing.
I had this also the Mad Max Fury Road does that as a kind of visual pun.
Do they use it in flashbacks there?
And yeah, he totally just murdered Akorum. Akorum's gone.
Oh, he's gone. I mean, look, he was Rip Van Winkle. It's better this way.
Did Jake write the book?
So there is proof that Akorum wasn't murdered.
Yeah, the poem.
Everybody remembers that the poem's not finished.
Oh yeah, that's true.
All right. Thank you.
I like Keiko's response from here on.
I mean, Cisco could have just beamed the guy into space and turned the runabout around and headed back to the station, but we trust him.
I mean, his explanation would be basically the same. Akorum is with the prophets now.
Right.
I mean, You could put him in a torpedo and send him into the wormhole.
O'Brien would feel bad about leaving Keiko alone after they spent so much time apart, and Keiko's giving him an excuse to leave, to go hang out with his best friend.
It would have saved Cisco the trip, basically. To put him in a torpedo and just shoot him into the wormhole. Cisco went out there for nothing. So, we're all down for Threshold?
You guys can watch
Right,
Threshold.
of course.
How much are you paying me to watch Threshold?
I'd rather watch Move Along Home.
Cost a lot of latinum.
And
Well, let's
that's a
see.
great piece of clay.
The views on this were about 20 average concurrent viewers, so I would expect about 20, maybe 30 cents of ad revenue. So I can split that between all of you guys.
Divide by 10, it's like 3 cents.
And Hannah, who is in fact not a guy.
Just mail me a penny. It'll be fine.
Mail you a penny.
Spend
What about-
40
And
cents on
55 cents to mail a penny.
Actually, it might be less because I had monetization turned off at the start of the stream, so people didn't get the initial ad.
And Emily Dickinson never finished a lot of her work. I think. Wrote Sanditon? She didn't finish it either.
Ended after the 12th stanza.
Keats died really young too. I don't know.
Yeah, this is an I hate temporal mechanics scene. They just address the plot hole and just move on. Don't worry about it.
Deep Space Nine addresses or explains why Keats died so young too.
In what way?
Wait, really? Oh shit! I'm gonna have to look that up.
In the episode where Jake has the alien who comes and makes him more talented.
Oh yeah. Oh Jesus.
She claims to have killed Keats.
Muse or something.
God, that episode's
you're
weird.
right. Oh my god, you're right. I remember this.
I guess they killed Jimi Hendrix too.
So we've established now
Hendrix
that
a lot
Akorum
of-
was in fact not the true emissary. He was just, according to the prophets, he was not the emissary. So do all the blessings that he gave not count, or are they cool with it?
That's how it works.
No, you gotta go back.
Sacraments
You gotta go back to the
are
temple.
not valid.
You have to go back to Cisco and get another blessing.
Fake blessings. yeah.
Valid.
People took
Your
time off
marriage-
work, their one day off all year to go get blessed by Akorum, and then they just have to schedule another visit.
Get fired. Yeah.
All those marriages have been living in sin ever since.
All right, so I'm just
Sacramento
opening
was
up
not
the city on the edge of forever because I am determined to get this scene in.
Are you impressed by how fast I said Edith Keeler?
Yes, I'm very proud of you.
Yeah, it was on the tip of my tongue, man. That was impressive.
Trying to find the blurry camera shot. Is that what you're talking
Yes,
about?
the blurry camera shot.
Joan Collins was good too, though. One should know the actress. If
Well,
was
she's a
there.
great actress. She's I mean,
They did the same trick with Yeoman Rand a lot too. Like in the first few episodes of Star Trek, they cut from Kirk to her, and she'd be all soft. The same type of thing.
Women are just blurry in the future.
So with Uhura, but here and there, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Do they smear Vaseline on the lens? Yeah.
A filter. It's like the blur filter Ryan uses on his YouTube page time, but like maybe a tenth of that. Blur filter Ryan.
That's
Exactly.
literally what they would do, though. They'd smear Vaseline on the lens.
I did apply the blur
yeah,
filter
that
to
was-
yesterday. I can't let Herr Deutschland stand with his face. Had to get rid of that. For that half a second it was on stream.
What does that mean about my face? What?
I can't have someone who's more handsome than me on stream. Get out of here.
You handsome devil.
Well, that's all kinds of lies. But okay.
All right,
Comfortable as a cat.
Ryan isn't brave enough to do it, so I'm going to start a 2-minute timer for Threshold. Get it queued up.
Oh shit. Okay.
Doing it this time.
This is not watching
Okay,
the Super Bowl.
so here's Spock. You can notice he's perfectly in focus. Let me push it forward a bit. James Kirk perfectly in focus. And then she's blurry. Why is she blurry? What's
she's
going on?
beautiful. She's beautiful.
Why are women
my
in the future
curtsies are-
blurry?
That's not the
Past,
future, it's the
distant
past.
True, it's not the past.
Wait. The squadron. It's starting in 5 minutes. You timed it perfectly.
You're right though.
We can't watch Squadron. We can't
You're
watch
right
Squadron.
though. She's all like.
We can
softened
watch Squadron.
So,
I feel like it's even more egregious later in the episode, honestly.
so for those who don't know, there is there's a Star Trek fan movie that's premiering like right now. However, I kind of because it's in Czech and filmed in the Czech Republic, I kind of want to wait until we have our Czech guest, so we can just
Sadva.
We can just watch it in Czech.
Translate.
And she'll just have to translate everything.
Yeah, we could watch with subtitles, or we could just have her say everything.
She knows a lot, so we could definitely make her brain work for us.
You can check with her.
She's not. Oh, that's a different cat than usual. That's the new
out.
cat. That's the Brussels cat.
Yeah, other cat's up.
Okay, I'm not sure how I'm gonna get both of them in frame, but I can try.
Yes, that's Shadow.
This is the quality content I tune in for right here.
Okay, so now they're both there, but I have to like... You know what, that's good enough. I mean, I guess I could get like 2 separate display captures, but that's just gonna be a whole load of work.
Not better
There
than
you
I thought
go.
you'd pull off.
There's some cats. There's one cat, and there's another cat. And then Herr Deutschland is over here, but I mean, we don't care about him. We just want the cat. What? The U.S. Air Force? USA?
US
There's
Air
a lot of U.S. stuff for someone living in Germany. What's up with this? What is this?
Well, I'm also in the Air Force.
It's a space fleet.
But you're in Germany. We need the German flag.
I will get to work on having a German flag.
Wow.
Okay. Good. So does the Air Force give you blankets as part of your compensation package? Or is that just thematic?
My mother-in-law gave me that, actually. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I need this open. Let me just move this to the side. Stream manager. There we go. Okay. So I think that's the last episode for today. So the actual episode part is over. What are the next episodes for TNG? It's the Ardra one, I know. TNG Season 4. What are they? Devil's Due with Ardra, and she's a flim-flam man. There's going to be Clues, where Data appears to be turning evil, basically. And there's First Contact, where they play up a scene where Riker is raped as a comedy bit. And that's not... Yeah, it has issues.
By
That's an
Fraser's
androgynous
ex-wife.
Uncomfortable.
Or no, that's Niles' ex-wife.
Whose?
No, it was Fraser's, yeah. Fraser's ex-wife, Lilith. Same actress.
Yeah,
Okay.
Baby New Earth. Baby New Earth.
Thank
Are
you.
we really not watching this fan movie? Like, come on. This is like perfect.
But
Hey,
I guess
don't know about
she
you
said
guys,
she was going to
Cancel.
watch it on her own. She already watched part of it.
I mean, not on stream, because that would be problematic, but like, the Discord chat. Come on, what are y'all doing?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't play the whole thing on the stream. It would be the same as Star Trek. We would queue up to 0 and press play and watch together.
Hey, I thought we were all watching Threshold. What happened there?
We're not watching Threshold.
I was going to watch Threshold, but then I realized Squadron
I gotta
was
keep up.
perfectly timed. Will begin shortly, so right now.
All right, everyone. Okay, I'm gonna post a link in the YouTube chat. Everyone, queue up for that fan movie. Episode is Squadron fan movie. There we go. So we shouldn't need to do a countdown because it should just start automatically. Everyone queue up.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. We get to premiere into a countdown.
Okay, good. Because I need a little bit of time to fix the setup.
And then so next week for DS9 we have Rules of Engagement, Hard Time, and Shattered Mirror, which is alternate universe, right? Yeah. What's this? With Jake's
countdown.
See you all next week.
Everyone be queued up.
You guys enjoy the fan film. I'm gonna go. Have a good one.
All right. I'll see you in 2 weeks. I just need to fix this before we get going. There's my bookmarks. All right. Now I can blur the screen. Move this over. The cat's over and done with.
$30 long, by the way.
All right.
You guys see the countdown, right? 56, 55.
See 42, 41, which is.
I'm at 44, 43.
Yes, I'm
So
behind.
that's exciting.
Let me get rid of the jazz. I'm gonna hit refresh just to see if it changes the sync. Okay, I hit refresh to change the sync, and it went to. Okay, what we're gonna do? Everyone pause when it hits 5. Everyone pause when it hits 5, and we'll resynchronize that way.
All right.
So currently I'm on 20.
Yep, me too.
I just hit 5.
Yeah, I'm on
Okay.
Jeez.
We're all waiting.
5 seconds into the movie or 5 seconds for the clock down?
Pause.
No,
5 seconds on the countdown.
Okay.
Okay. So everyone should be paused 5 seconds into the left in the countdown.
Yep.
Everyone get ready to press play. We're going to press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. So now countdown 0. Black screen.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
Stars, we're good. So this isn't Czech. So, you might want to turn on English subtitles if you don't speak Czech.
Oh, I didn't realize.
And if you do speak Czech, do whatever. But I personally do not. Oh, there's some nasty YouTube compression here.
Yeah.
I assume that's not the movie's fault. That's just YouTube live streams have issues. Michael Omi Husak. I don't know who any of these people are because they're just fans and they made their own movie. I noticed they all have the... What are those called? The things over the letters? Diametric? No, diametric something else. What?
Diacritics, I think.
Okay. Oh, there's the moon. It's very nice. It's a very nice moon.
Specifically, when it's done in Latin,
looks amazing.
It's called a Macron.
That,
yeah, they did a really great job.
That's not Excelsior, is it?
No.
It's Excelsior class. Looks like it.
The nacelles look different to me.
Did a good job.
Let me look up the Excelsior class, see if I'm just forgetting what the Excelsior looks like. Yeah, no, that's definitely 100% regular Excelsior. Stopta. Admirale. Posetese. Alright, every stream we're going to start with Posetese to tell people to take a seat.
Sounds good.
A ship is called the Trinculo.
Operation Return was when they retook Deep Space Nine.
Oh, nice.
That was Sacrifice of Angels. Which is why they're wearing DS9 uniforms here. We're in that era. Some model starships. I think, looking in the background, she has a model starship of, I think that's from a different show.
That's a Galaxy Quest ship.
Okay. She also has a Klingon knife. Dig Tug.
And I think a sailing ship?
I'm more confused. And so in this reality that they're telling, the Czech Republic took over the world. Sneaky.
Starfleet speaks Czech. Yep.
Everyone is Czechia.
No. See, it's always just a universal translator. They actually speak some like new language that hasn't been existing yet.
They speak Esperanto.
Yeah.
Okay, you're forming a squadron to send into the Merton sector.
Like when you get an assignment, you're like, oh, it's not a Galaxy class, but I'm sure it's got its own benefits.
It's got some good cards up its sleeve, and they're all full houses.
That's not what you say when you get your first assignment.
Really, lady? You're telling this person he's gonna go on a ship after he just said, I'm a captain, I should be on a ship, captaining a ship. It's like, hey, I got a ship for you. 10 seconds later, but you're not the captain.
He's an admiral. It's good times.
Okay. Real roller coaster of emotions.
Right?
You don't have a ship, but here's a ship, but you're not the captain. You're not the captain of any ship. But you're a commodore.
How they change up the set each time.
Okay, there's a Trill, there's an Orion. There's a human. Ugh.
Jokes aside, the for a fan production outfit, this is really great.
Yeah.
I would never be able to.
Stunning.
I appreciate the zippers.
Admiral Moscow.
Privyet. No, that's Russian. Though it sounds very Russian, so maybe they probably share some words.
It's Eastern European. Slavic.
It's all
languages.
Slavic.
They use the Cyrillic alphabet also.
What kind of class is that? The general profile looks kind of Nova, but the saucers look different.
That Guardian girl is really cool.
Just Jem'Hadar fighters. They definitely sent their heavy ships, didn't they?
Yeah.
Probably sent some of those really big, slender attack cruisers.
He grew out his mustache and became a
But he's gonna be glad he split the party.
I think that Andorian's ear or antenna are not on wires, unfortunately.
Nope. She's rocking. Oh, it's show.
Whenever we cut to the captain, all I can look at, or sorry, the admiral, all I can look at is his zipper.
Same, yeah.
Yeah, they're like first contact jackets.
Needs of the many.
I mean,
Ah,
it doesn't look terrible.
that was a movie
So-
reference.
It is.
I was about to say, like, so did Vulcans just completely wholesale steal that line?
Oh yeah, for sure. See, that's another instance of Vulcans being liars.
How so?
Because it's Nixon could go to China is not a Vulcan proverb, but they claim it.
I mean, that was a
No,
joke, right?
No. It's not a joke. In Star Trek 6, they show that like Vulcan observers watching Earth at the time had observed, because remember that only Nixon could go to China. And I think like American political observers also observed that. So I was mentioned Star Trek 6, and they're referring to that now.
This is a thing in America that they said for a period, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, because Nixon was a hawk, right? So like only a hawk could make peace in that sense.
I took it as a joke in the same sense of like saying Shakespeare in the original Klingon.
Right. Well, I mean, yeah, but
and it's
no,
definitely a joke on the part of the writers. I'm just not. It's a joke that Spock is saying. From
so
Spock's
it's a
point of
reference to
view.
Star Trek 6, and it is the Vulcan saying, and like Ryan said, it's a joke on behalf of the writers.
Right. Yeah, it's not a joke Spock is making.
No, he's making a serious sociological observation. Which
As a Denobulan, he has a nose for things. Wait, do we get to see a Denobulan? I haven't seen a Denobulan in forever. USS Minneapolis. Jem'Hadar bug fighters, okay. Is that a Nova class? That looks a Nova. That looks like an updated Nova design.
And this looks like a legit episode.
Now I just need to look up the Nova class again to make sure.
Yeah, that does look like the Nova class, but it's much smaller.
It's slightly different. The Nova I see in the pictures here has its nacelles go up. These nacelles go down.
It's weird. The fights feel slower somehow.
There's no shaky. Yeah, there's no shaky cam. They actually all moved.
Oh, there was some shake. Oh no, there was no camera shake. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the actors.
Admirale. Ando con there.
I like their computer displays it. I think it looks pretty good.
And the Admiral would say, "The how, huh?"
We did it. Really? The captain wasn't briefed on that? That seems really important information for ship captains to have.
I mean, these are small science ships. They look like. I mean, I don't know if they're warships or not, but they took out those Jem'Hadar pretty easily.
Yeah, if they're Nova variants, then Novas are science ships. Actually, the Equinox, if you guys remember that from Voyager, that was a Nova class.
Right. It was not set up for warfare. Max speed was like warp 7 or something.
That looks like a modified steam runner class.
Right, or Norway class or something from First Contact. Yeah. Yeah, it is Steam Runner. But I like the Vulcan's eyebrow raise. It was really well done.
Maybe people in the chat on that video know what kind of class ship that is.
It is Steam Runner Norway. I mean, Steam Runner.
It
Akira.
looks like
Akira.
Steam Runner, but the deflector dish is wrong.
It's not Akira.
All these slight modifications, like nacelles up or nacelles down, it may just be part of like some kind of original, spinners. I don't know.
It's the old Trek tradition of kit bashing. You just take various parts of different ships and just bash them together. It's like a Nova hull with Akira nacelles.
Yeah.
I mean, the nacelles look like runabout nacelles almost.
Norway class, is that an actual thing, or is that something they made up for this?
That was in First Contact.
Yep, and XR just said it's a Norway class.
Oh, that looks right. That looks like it. Okay, Norway class.
There we go.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
I said Norway 5 minutes ago.
USS
but
Luanda.
I also made 3 other guesses.
Wait, what is she reading? That looks like the D&D Player's Handbook.
She has Calto on her desk. Did you guys see that?
She has what?
She has the Calto game that Tuvok used to play.
Really? What's wrong with that first officer? Oh, the Denobulan.
Hey Ryan, I'm sorry I I had to leave. I'm I'm sorry.
It'll actually be
pretty
really
lost.
hard to resynchronize with this just because of how, because it's a live stream, it's going to be different. I have no idea how to resynchronize mid premiere.
What episode are we on here? I need to find it.
We're not on an episode. We're watching a fan movie, Squadron.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
The link is in the chat.
But we are like 30 seconds behind.
You know, mine's not a premiere.
It should. Wait, what are you watching?
Mine
What's the
was
title of the
uploaded
thing you're watching?
Squadron, a Star Trek fan production, part 1 and 2.
Yeah, that's something else.
We're not watching. Okay. What?
Squadron, a Star Trek fan production, full movie.
I see it. Okay.
It's not the same thing.
I'll
as
link
what
it.
I'm watching?
I'll link it again in the YouTube chat. I don't know what. I don't know what
I've
you
been
clicked on.
clicking what I'm watching. I clicked on what's in the Discord chat.
I mean, I appreciate this tactic from the Vorta. Just beam everyone off the ship. It's so effective. Good on her.
We are watching the same thing because I was identifying Norway class and Akira class, and
But you're gonna get out of sync once you hit the end of part 1 and have to switch. And I don't know if there's like a part 3 included in this. Yeah, this Vorta is employing much better combat tactics than the actual Vorta. The actual Vorta barely did anything. Hopefully they have like voice changing software if someone calls.
Why would you not call them and ask?
Prostem Sorastonik. In case of any unexpected... It's throwing me off how many of these words are just the English word with a letter E on the end. Capitane, probleme.
going on.
I mean, German does the same thing sometimes.
Yeah, even Russian has Latinized words coming in. But
Well, that's an angry
words
Vorta.
are-
Als wie mistake. Wait, who is that guy? Wait, what? Is that... Wait, is that face paint or is that biological? Who's that guy? Yeah, everything does seem a little slow on the battles.
But I think I like it better that way. These explosions are just brutal.
Just ripping people apart. Wait, where's he now? I thought he got beamed to the surface. Is that a different
No,
guy?
different ship.
Yeah.
Oh, they brought the shields up. Good.
Yeah, it's 3v1. What's gonna happen? Like, what does she expect to do?
Maybe Maybe the Vorta is playing on them just not being willing to destroy another Federation ship. Okay, let's see how effective this is. 3v1.
That is a terrible situation. What are you doing, Admiral?
Hey, it worked. What was the Vorta planning for that, though? What was she hoping would happen? Clausewitz? I'm afraid I don't know Clausewitz. Wait, why are we retreating? Blow them up. Did they just pull a Hunt for Red October? They just did Hunt for Red October with a Russian missile sub. You are not Sean Connery, man.
He thinks he is with that beard.
I mean, it is a good beard. It's a little too short on the sides for how long it is in the middle, but overall I like it.
Not a Riker beard, but it's, you know, it's respectable. True.
Yeah. I'm still not clear why we're retreating, instead of just killing them. Kill them. That's what you do. If you don't kill them, if you retreat, they're just going to get away with the stolen Federation ship. Look, she's a Vulcan. She would go full on needs of the many, outweighed the needs of the few. Just kill them. Yeah, I'm with the Vulcan.
Yeah, one person, they would totally destroy that ship.
No, don't save the captain. Don't bother. Just kill them. Three v one. You have loads of torpedoes. Just kill them. How are you going to send an away team? They have shields. Okay, if you take down their shields.
Yeah. I'm actually have to go soon, and I'm gonna eat, and I'm gonna watch the Super Bowl.
Yeah, all right.
Okay,
Yes, they're
go
firing.
Tampa Bay.
Thank you. Destroy the ship. Kill them all.
Bye, Kevin. Have a good day.
No, I'll still be on here for now, but I have to eat. I have to go. I'll have to go eat.
Okay. I mean, this isn't too terribly long.
Oh.
Oh, Commander Madrano's dead.
Out.
Good job, Captain Failure. You tried a half measure and it didn't work.
They did a pretty good job as an effect with those glass panels. So it looks like they just have fluorescent light behind one of those panels and it's just glass etchings, which is a really smart way to make a panel.
I'm very unclear on how this battle has progressed. Partly because I'm like talking during parts of it, but
Yeah,
it
but how
seems
did
like
you manage
Timing is
to?
very different.
it seems like the 3 feds are losing to the 1 ship.
Which makes no sense.
It's weird seeing a Jem'Hadar speak Czech.
Like Star Trek Discovery, where things does everything just changed. Like the
Okay,
designs of the aliens. And the Klingons.
what? Hang on. What are they accomplishing by firing at their own ship? At Nuke?
Oh man, they're quoting Sun Tzu.
I have no idea what's actually happening right now. Are they trying to like detonate Nook's ship on top of the stolen ship? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't understand why they couldn't just fire torpedoes normally.
I don't know why that was necessary, but it worked. I think that was probably the Denobulan, because that person was wearing the same kind of outfit that Dr. Phlox usually wears. That was a good costume.
Cool. Good observation.
I'm just disappointed we didn't get to see the Denobulan blow up their face like a pufferfish. A little bit of ill-fitting uniform, but that's not their fault. CBS requires that you only use like their official prop and merchandise when you do fan films.
Oh.
The Voyager ship.
I'm not gonna blame them for uniform issues, things like that. Not perfect props. Some
CBS,
Danube-class runabouts.
is going to be repackaged into Paramount Plus at some point.
What was that ship with the Galaxy saucer, but the nacelle's really close to it?
That was a Nebula class, but that's
Nebula
class too.
I believe that was Voyager.
Was it Voyager itself?
I didn't see Voyager. I saw something that looked Prometheus.
With the Intrepid class.
Oh, that's an Intrepid. Voyager. That's definitely an Intrepid.
It's an Intrepid class, yeah. It's a Nebula class.
Yeah.
Okay, we're done. That's it.
Great episode.
Yeah, for a fan production, pretty good.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and comment. Neat.
It looks so shiny.
We'll give it a like.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Support their Patreon. Actually, they can't have a Patreon. Oh no, they do have a Patreon. CBS says you're not allowed to do that, but I mean, I have one, and apparently they do too, so hey, whatever. Okay. That's it. That was the fan production. Guess this is a good time to put the jazz back on while we do an outro.
How's your Minecraft world doing?
I haven't played it. Anytime recently.
Oh, naturally. Okay.
I started playing a bit of, what's it called? Space Engineers. That's pretty good. I can show you my Space Engineers world.
Great.
I've barely played, I'm not very far into it though. So I don't have that much. I have a very, very small base and a rover in construction. The rover's not even done. Let's go ahead and unblur. Load game. What's the drill test? No, I think the drill test might already be exploded. Oh, nope, I accidentally loaded the drill test. Well, we'll see if this exploded, because, you know, if you're testing things in a physics-based game, make another save when you do the test, otherwise you're going to have to rebuild from scratch. You don't want everything to just explode on you. Yeah, Space Engineers is pretty cool. It's about, I mean, it's all about being an engineer in space. Or in my case, on a planet, and then I'm working my way up to space. So yeah, here's my little base. It's still only scaffolding except for the doors. It has a refinery, it has an assembler, it has O2 generation, but it can't, this obviously is not airtight. Because this isn't Earth, this is an alien planet without oxygen. Has some wind turbines way up there.
It's like playing Minecraft.
Kinda. I took off the wheels because this is the mid-test and I was testing different wheel configurations. But there would be wheels on the final thing over like that and on both sides. This is just a drill rig. It's not like an exploration rover. This thing... Okay. Let me show you the drilling capabilities of my ultimate weapon. So, here's a drill head. Yeah. And here are 6 giant pistons on each drill head to push it into the ground. Let me go ahead and get rid of this initial scaffold, drop it closer to the ground. There we go. Now the front is dropped in. Exterior view. Let's see if everything's still bound correctly. Yeah, turn on the drill heads so you can see those are starting to shake. Drill pistons I want to advance fairly slowly, but I'll speed it up a little bit, 0.2 meters per second. And that's each piston, so 6 pistons, 1.2 meters per second. Yeah, that's too fast. You can see it's like stopping and getting stuck. Let me turn that down before it breaks itself apart. 1.1 meters per second. So they're currently less than a third extended, and they're all the way down there. It goes real deep. So this is what I've been working on occasionally in my spare time. This giant drill rig rover. You can see it has one thing fully extended here, one partition, and each piston has 3. So it's like halfway done. And it's way down there. That gets a lot of ore. It's probably dangerous to be down here, but I am down here. So each piston, the ones on the side are burrowing sort of holes, and the ones in the middle sort of fill that in. God, I'm so deep underground. Oh hey, you can see, I don't know why, but you can see the Discord people right there. There they are. In the top left corner. Come on, hurry up and be done, so I can retract the drills. Here's the world. I have there's a big lake over there. You can see a big crater where I've been doing my hand drilling. But, I mean, that's a lot of lake and a lot of ore buried under it. So I need a big rig to deal with it.
I need you to send you to Mars, Ryan. We're wasting your talents.
Somehow I think they do not need people in the space program who just are okay at video games.
It's like Minecraft. I like playing Minecraft.
Yeah, Minecraft. It's sort of a similar concept. You can mess with the world and build things up. Make your own creations. Retracting it pretty quick. Drill heads are turned off.
cool engineering game.
So this is how deep
It's
it
at my
went.
cousin's house.
It's all the way down here. So that got me a fair bit of ore. And because this is on wheels, you just pull it forward the length of the rover, and you just drill again. And you have massive amounts of materials. So let's see for comparison. For comparison by hand, I've probably mined like 50,000 stone. Each of these drills has hundreds and hundreds of thousands. And I have, how many drills do I have? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I think it's 16. I think I miscounted. Let me go up here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 drills, each with like 450,000 stone. Where by hand I've been able to mine like 50,000 just by myself. That's a lot of ore. If there were an iron deposit right here, I would be set for life. In iron. So that's what I've been doing. That's what I've been doing. I think the stream's over now, though.
Thank
Go
you,
ahead
chat. Thank you, guys.
Blur that, put the info up.
Thank you.
See you guys.
See you, Gyrinx. Nice meeting you, Kevin. Bye, Ryan.
See y'all next week.